Kroger.com, you can find hundreds of money-saving digital coupons. And whether you place your order on your phone, tablet, or computer, it's still your neighborhood Kroger. So you'll find all the fresh choices, low prices, and great deals you love. And once you've selected your coupons and finished your shopping, you choose a pickup time that fits your schedule. And relax while your order is hand-picked, just the way you like it. Then all you have to do is hop in the car and drive to the store's pickup location. And a friendly Kroger associate will load your specially picked order for you. You don't even have to get out of your vehicle. It's so convenient. Save time. Shop online today at Kroger.com.
Final few days now for the Mountaineer football team as they get ready to wrap up spring drills. The annual Gold and Blue scrimmage game coming up on Saturday. Kickoff is set for 1 o'clock. One of the storylines to this offseason is developing depth at wide receiver. Of course, West Virginia lost some very talented players, Gary Jennings, David Sills, just to name a few. That means some young guys need to take over in leadership roles this coming season, and that includes Sam James. He did redshirt last season, but because of that new NCAA rule, was able to play in 4 games.
Like, I'm glad I redshirted and still played the 4 games because it's going to help, like, for this season, because now I know what is going to happen. Like, I know like the environment stuff and the speed, so I got used to it. Now in practice, pushing myself to be able to prepare for that.
Now, I mentioned Sills and Jennings, and James said that they gave him a great boost of confidence and help in his rookie season.
A lot, like coming in, they were like my big brothers, like old heads, getting ready to leave, big brothers. And so they just really taught me, like, go in practice, do something, I do it wrong, and they'd be like, this is what you need to do. Like, you didn't knock down the DB's hands, or you didn't stack the DB, stuff like that. And I just learned that from them, and they would critique me after everything so I could be better.
Now, Sam James is happy that he's in Morgantown, but one thing he's not too crazy about, that winter weather for that Georgia native.
I kind of struggled during the winter here, not going to lie. Cold. Never been in this type of cold before in my life, and I just had to adjust wearing 3 jackets, tights under my sweatpants and stuff like that.
And James says he doesn't think he'll ever get used to the winter weather. Once again, spring game on Saturday, kick at 1 o'clock. Our pregame begins at 12:30. That is today's Mountaineer Report, brought to us by Kroger, the official grocer of WVU Athletics. I'm Tony Caridi on the Mountaineer Sports Network from Learfield, IMG College.
Hello and welcome back once again to Historic Municipal Stadium. I'm John Kosis, joined by Ray Jensen. Ray will be my partner in crime for the 2019 season. For those of you listening at home, for all the home games, you're going to hear Ray Jensen's voice on the airwaves. Ray, talk to me a little bit about your experience here, not only in baseball, but your journalistic experience getting up to this point.
Well, John, it really all started with my schooling back at York College, Pennsylvania. I've lived in Pennsylvania for many years, and that's where I got my start in their sport management practicum program. From there, got introduced to independent league baseball, was part of the York Revolution of the Atlantic League of Professional Baseball, very different from the South Atlantic League. Was there for many years doing public address announcing, and went on their flagship station, WOIK 1350 AM, doing all types of stuff, including play-by-play like we are here, and a little bit of broadcasting. Internship with the Tampa Bay Rays in 2017, was there in the St. Pete, Tampa area for that entire year, and last summer had the pleasure of going up to the Northwoods League and calling baseball for the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters, and that all leads me right here to Hub City.
All right, Ray, what was the moment where you knew either, hey, I want to get a job in baseball or I want to get a job in broadcasting? What kind of brought you to this point?
Well, I remember watching games as a youngster, and especially for me, it was watching the run of the New York Jets in the 2009-2010 seasons with Rex Ryan at the helm, and it was just that excitement around the game. That's what kind of inspired me as a youngster to get into broadcasting, and from there it's just been an incredible journey from getting opportunity. I consider myself blessed to get to this point, absolutely.
Ray, if there's one thing you're looking forward to most in the Suns roster, maybe from a vantage point of working in minor league baseball for the first time, for this summer, what are you looking forward to most, though?
I'm looking forward to most about the continuing journeys of these young players. Like, as I mentioned, I was in the Northwoods League last year, and that's kind of almost a stopping point for a lot of players who are going to get drafted by major league teams. And this is kind of the next step on that journey. I get to see what happens next after the players that leave summer collegiate baseball leagues or leave their collegiate teams. What's next for them? And I'm happy to be able to call their journeys as they continue in the minor league organizations.
Okay, Ray, last question I got for you, and this one could be a little bit of an extended response if you'd like, but when you were applying for jobs this year, you were looking for a lot of baseball jobs, obviously. You were looking to do broadcasting, and we talked about it, obviously, off the airwaves quite a bit. Where do you see yourself growing the most in 2019?
I think where I see myself growing most in 2019 is being a more complete professional, and I'd like to think I have a decent game in the broadcasting side of things. I can talk very well and speak with great ease, but I think I really could improve in all types of levels, which includes graphics and things of that nature. I like to be able to create not just exciting moments on the mic, but create exciting images for fans and be a little more well-rounded as a professional, because nowadays, I'm sure you can agree with me, John, it's not just what you do behind the mic that matters, is when the mic is off and what you do with the team outside of that, what you can contribute. And I'd like to be able to contribute more outside of just with my golden pipes, so to speak.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down and talking about yourself, Ray. I'm excited to listen to you talk for much of the 2019 season about these Hagerstown Suns. We got one more commercial break, and then we'll bring you the lineups coming up next on the Suns Baseball Network.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families like yours for generations, since 1880. Whether you want to plan ahead or you need us now. Our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
He literally saved my life. It's just mind-boggling to me that he was able to do what he did.
We're able to affect much more of a difference for our patients with these resources.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
They treat you great, and they're down to earth in the West Virginia way that all West Virginians treat each other.
Life can get in the way these days. We all know that. Work commitments, social commitments, volunteer commitments, family commitments. You put your heart into all of it. You've got enough to worry about already. Your roof shouldn't be one of those things. Everything should just work. But when your roof is in need of an upgrade, you shouldn't have to worry about that either. Modern Renovations, your 4-state roofing solution. reminding you that home is where the heart really is.
Welcome back to the Suns Baseball Network. Let's introduce the lineups for the first game here at Municipal Stadium in 2019. Batting first for the Suns will be Cody Wilson playing in center. Gage Canning will be in left field, batting second. Batting third is the catcher, Israel Pineda. The right fielder, Jacob Rhinesmith, will be cleanup. Gobert Lara will be the third baseman, batting fifth. Batting sixth is KJ Harrison, the first baseman. Pablo O'Connor, the designated hitter, will be batting seventh. Kyle Marincones will be the second baseman, batting eighth, and Jose Sanchez, the shortstop, will be batting ninth. Now, for the Asheville Tourists, leading off is Will Golson, the left fielder. Taran Vava, the second baseman, will bat second. Grant Levine, the designated hitter, will bat third. Willie McIver, the catcher, will clean up. Coco Montez will play at short and bat fifth. John Cresto will be the right fielder and bat seventh. Daniel Jipping will bat eighth, and play first. And finally, batting ninth, Kyle Datris. And Datris will be playing third base for Asheville tonight. Jake Irvin will get the start in the hill. It'll be his second start of the year. He's 0-0 with a 7.2 earned run average this year. Shelby Lackey, meanwhile, will be starting for the Asheville Tourists. Lackey 0-0 with a 6.75 ERA. Again, we're just moments away from first pitch here. We've got the national anthem coming up, but then Jake Irvin will be the first Suns pitcher to take the hill in 2019 at historic Municipal Stadium. Let's give you a little recap of what's been going on for the Suns this year. They start off a series against the Greensboro Grasshoppers and only took one of those 4 games. After that, they went over to Lakewood and played the Blue Claws. It's an 8-hour drive from Greensboro, North Carolina to Lakewood, New Jersey. After the 8-hour drive, they went 1-2, but the one game might have been the most important. They won the series finale, so they're bringing a little bit of momentum coming home against the Asheville Tourists, who are first place in the Southern Division here in the South Atlantic League. Again, these two teams will be kicking off, and Jake Irvin will get another chance after allowing a 3-run home run in his first start and allowing 5 total runs, only 4 of which were earned in that first start. He went a little bit over 4 innings of work for the Suns. Last night, Tim Cate offered over 4 innings as well. He allowed 2 earned runs to bring his earned run average to 193 on the season in a winning effort. He didn't get the win, though. Rather, Ryan Tapney got the win. And then the save ended up going over into the bullpen to Fletcher. So a lot of great work coming here from the Hagerstown Suns in that last game. Everything's starting to come together. The hitting and now the pitching, which has always been very good for this team, is starting to finally hit way. We're going to get underway, but before that, we'll pause for the national anthem. You're listening to the Suns Baseball Network.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Welcome to La Bella Vita, named for my Grandma Vita. Our mountaintop getaway honors her legacy while complementing the home's spectacular views. This recently renovated property boasts a breathtaking landscape of Deep Creek Lake while providing great open interior spaces for a sensational vacation. You'll immediately notice the great room allows for entertaining, dining, and relaxing after long days on the lake or skiing on the slopes of Wisp. Your family and friends will enjoy relaxing in all the open spaces. The home features 6 bedrooms, including 4 that are private suites. And each of the 4 levels of this home feature amazing visibility as far as the eye can see. Like our family, we hope you enjoy making memories here on the mountain. We love sharing the spacious, warm, and inviting home that overlooks the lake. Cheers to the beautiful life, La Bella Vita.
Hello and welcome back once again to historic Municipal Stadium. The national anthem has been sung by the very own Big Tony. You might know him if you're familiar with Municipal Stadium. He often tries to sell merchandise in the stands, and also during the week is a member of the team store. He was able to kick off the 2019 season with a bang. Jake Irvin, the big righty, is on the hill right now getting ready to kick off the season with first pitch. Irvin, an imposing figure on the mound. A righty, 6'6" and 225 pounds. He's 22 years old as well, coming from Edina, Minnesota. He was drafted last year in the 4th round by the Washington Nationals, and last season finished with a 1-0 record, 1.74 ERA through 20 2/3 innings. He walked 7, and he struck out 15 batters. So Irvin last year, the one difference between that and this year, you see the 7.2 earned run average. First, it was only through 1 start, so I wouldn't be alarmed. But the other thing to realize is last year he never pitched more than 2 innings in 1 start in minor league baseball, or I should say appearance, because he was not a starter. Rather, he came out of the pen. Here are the players that he'll face off against. For the Asheville Tourists, it all starts with Will Golson, the left fielder. He's hitting .320 on the year. And then after that, the second baseman, Taryn Vava, is hitting .407. Again, a very short period of time, but this Asheville Tourists lineup mirrors that of the Colorado Rockies every year, it seems. Last year they had Casey Golden and a couple other really great prospects. Hitting is what really does the job. Grant Levine will be the designated hitter, batting third. Willie McIver, the catcher, will clean up. He's hitting .417. Coco Montez will bat fifth and play short. The right fielder, John Cresto, will follow him. Then it will be Daniel Jipping at first base. Kyle Datris will finally finish things off, playing third. First player to step in is Golson, again, playing left field, hitting .320. The righty brandishes the bat, standing with his back foot on the line. The pitch, fastball, hits the outside corner at the knees. It's strike one, and we're underway here right on the edge of Cleveland Avenue at 6:11 p.m. Irvin gets the call from Pineda. The kick and the pitch, fastball, called strike on the edge. And now Irvin ahead 0-2. He's a very aggressive pitcher. He tries to get that first pitch strike, but he's not going to mess around. He's not going to throw a lot of junk at you, and that comes from him knowing he's used to only throwing for an inning or two at a time. So now he's going to try and last longer by being efficient. The pitch, fastball, this one just outside. Now the count is 1-2 to the first batter that Irvin has faced so far. The temperature, 59 degrees here at Municipal Stadium for first pitch. Throw on the way, just low, and now the count's evened up 2-2, nobody out. Score still tied at 0 as the leadoff batter is up. The left fielder readies. The kick, the pitch, fastball line towards right field. Coming back is Ryan Smith, and he's got it. That's out number 1, a fly out to right field. I guess you could say the season is officially underway, Ray.
Yeah, and it feels good that baseball's back in Hub City. And how about Irvin attacking the strike zone early? Like you said, he does not mess around as he's only used to shorter outings being extended here in his first full season of extended ball.
Vavra stepping up to the dish. He's the second baseman for Asheville, hitting .407 on the season. The pitch, fastball, that's hit hard towards the gap in left center, and that's going to get down on its way towards the wall. Rounding first, hang to second is Vavra. He's standing up and in before Canning was able to bring it in. A stand-up double with 1 out, and all of a sudden the Tourists are in business. This is something we were kind of expecting. Asheville, one of the better batting teams early on in the league, the division leader in the South. You're going to see some hits. The question is, can Irvin manage with a runner in scoring position early on here? Grant Levine coming up. He's in the 3-hole, and surprising, again, it's a small sample size, but he has the lowest batting average in this order at the Mendoza line, 200. Irvin will be coming on the stretch for the first time, looking back at second, throws home Fastball called strike, nipped at the knees on the inside edge. He's had 0-1. 20 at-bats for Levine on the season. He has scored 1 run. He's been able to drive in 3 thus far, though, batting primarily in the 3-hole. Looking back at second, throws home. It's a high pop fly towards left field, hooking, and it's going to be foul, out of reach of Gage Canning. He came over to the fence, but just wasn't able to do anything with it.
Yeah, he was giving that ball a look the entire way. Just closer and closer he got to the wall. He's like, well, I got to slow down eventually.
And that's something that you'll see a lot with some of these players. Remember, the Suns came here for Media Day. They had a practice, and then they shipped right on out to North Carolina. 0-2's the count, 1 out, runner on second. A lot of these players still for the first time really getting acquainted with their home ballpark. Irvin looks back, the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Pineda smothers it and keeps the runner over at second base. Just a quick recap of what's gone on so far. Golson flew out to right field. Then Vava got things underway, hitting the gap in left center field. The ball bounced all the way to the wall, and he came in with a stand-up double. Irvin gathers. Pineda lined up on the outside edge. The check back towards second. The throw home, that's going to be popped up to shallow right field. Rhinesmith coming in, dives, it gets underneath him, but backing him up is Cody Wilson. The runner advances to third base, and Levine gets a single. But with that dive from Rhinesmith, if Wilson's not backing him up, that goes all the way to the wall, and at least 1 run is scoring. Rhinesmith, good heads-up awareness, knowing that Wilson was nearby and could back him up there.
Yeah, it's really heartening to see in this early in the season that sort of camaraderie. They know what they can possibly get, and just seeing teammates back up each other just a week in the minor league season, that's good to see.
Now there's some trouble for Irvin. Runners on the corners, Willie McIver at the plate. The pitch, fastball outside. Pineda gloves it, the count's 1-0. The catcher in the cleanup hole hitting .417 this season. Batting right-handed. A big righty, back foot on that white chalk at the back of the batter's box. 3-step lead at first for McIver. Pitch, fastball outside. Oh no, it's called strike. Pineda didn't frame well because he was worried about the runner taking off at first, watching for that double steal. The batter coming back in. McIver points the bat twice towards the mount rather. Now shoulders the lumber. The pitch, fastball fouled off. Counts now 1-2. Pineda being aggressive, looking towards the base stealers. Well, this season he's thrown out 3 of 6 would-be base stealers. So he's had some opportunities in the early goings, and he's been relatively successful, about 50%, as good as you'll see at the single-A level for a catcher. The pitch, 1-2, hit high towards left field. Canning coming in on it. Is it deep enough is the question. He makes the grab, and the race is on. Coming in from third base is Golson. Throw is cut off, and then thrown towards first. It gets past Harrison, and the runner will advance to second. The Asheville Tourists with their first lead of the game. That'll be a sacrifice fly. Vava comes in. That's run number 1. Levine gets over towards second, but he's going to advance on the error. Meanwhile, McIver will have a sacrifice fly, and that's to left field. 2 away here. A good opportunity for Canning to show off his arm, but a tough play to make with the speedy second baseman coming up. Brings up Coco Montez, He's playing shortstop tonight. The righty bends the knees. He's ready. The pitch, just a bit. No, it's called strike on the outside edge. So the count's 0-1. Irvin getting a little bit of help there. Top of the first inning, 1-0's the score. Asheville with the lead. Irvin looks back at second, throws home. That's going to be fouled off on the first base side. Now Irvin's ahead 0-2. He can continue to be aggressive like he's been this entire inning. And he's going to obviously try to get out of this one. Runner on second base. He's been coming out of the set for much of the inning. Ever since the first batter, Will Golson, was retired, he's had someone on the base paths. Irvin looks back at second. The kick and the throw. Fastball grounded towards second. Gobbled by Marincones. He throws over to Harrison on time. That's out number 3, but not before damage is done. Asheville has a 1-0 lead heading into the home half of the first inning. You're listening to the Suns Baseball Network.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
Hello and welcome back to Municipal Stadium, where the Suns are taking on the Asheville Tourists. Asheville started off the game with a bang. They lead 1-0, and that's because with 1 out, Taryn Vava was able to hit a double, followed by a single from Levine to put runners at the corners. Then McIver hit him home with a sacrifice fly, and that's how the score got to where it is. But now the Suns are up for the first time, and they have an opportunity to do some damage. Cody Wilson will lead things off in center field. His batting average on the year is 0.087. Gage Canning will be batting second. He'll be playing left field. He's hitting .269 on the year. The catcher, Israel Pineda, is hitting .136. He'll be batting third. The cleanup hitter is the right fielder, Jacob Reinsmith. Gilbert Lara will be batting fifth, and the third baseman leads the team not only in home runs with a pair, but he has 8 RBI on the season in just 7 games for the team. He's only played in 6. He's hitting .286, but don't sleep on the guy batting sixth, KJ Harrison. Last night he had 3 hits. He's hitting .421 on the year. Not only is that good for the team high, but it's one of the top 10 marks in the South Atlantic League. Pablo O'Connor is batting seventh, the designated hitter, hitting .188. Kyle Marincones hitting .267, will be batting 8th. And finally, Jose Sanchez, the shortstop, will bat 9th. He's hitting .235. Shelby Lackey is on the hill for the Asheville Tourists in his second start of the year. He was picked in the 18th round of last year's draft by the Colorado Rockies out of Pacific. The kick and the pitch. Fastball called strike on the outer edge. And he starts off just as Jake Irvin did, with a strike.
Both pitchers very aggressive in the early goings. You're not going to get strikes unless you attack the strike zone itself.
Lackey throws home. It's going to be swung on and fouled off the foot of Wilson. Now the count's 0-2. He's quickly in the hole. Lackey this year had one other start, and that came all the way back against Augusta on April 6th. The pitch going to be bounced down the first base side. And what a snag in the stands. You hear the crowd kind of go wild. A fan in a plaid shirt had a glove, and he kind of reached over to his throwing arm side and was able to backhand that. It looked like he reached in front of a small child, so maybe saving someone there. Pitch is low and outside, counts 1-2. He couldn't get Wilson to chase, and that's fine. You're going to see those types of pitches thrown on 0-2 counts. See if you can get someone to swing at something outside of the zone. Lackey kicks and throws. That's a breaking ball low. Today the Suns are wearing their red jerseys. They have white stripes throughout, and the numbers are also in white. They're wearing white pants with red and blue trim on the sides. The pitch is going to be chopped over towards short. Montez Fields throws it to first. It's on time to Jipping for out number 1. Wilson goes down 6-3 on the ground out, and it'll bring up the left fielder, Gage Canning. Meanwhile, Asheville is going to be wearing their grays. A lot of the players wearing their navy blue Under Armour underneath it. Temperatures are expected to get down to as low as 50 tonight. Blue caps for the Tourists. Tourists spelled out in script on the chest. The pitch, breaking ball outside and low, counts now 1-0. The lefty steps back into the batter's box. McIver lines up outside. That's going to be hit towards short. Trying to backhand it's Montez, but he kicks it into the outfield. Canning takes a hearty round of first base, but he'll head back a single. The first hit for the Suns tonight. Hagerstown's trailing 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning. There's one out thus far, but still plenty of time to change that. Israel Pineda coming up to the plate. Pineda, the catcher, was one of those guys that was really something that people were looking forward to this season. Just 18 years old. That's right, born in the year 2000, or 19 rather. Pitch is going to be fouled right back in the netting. He turned 19 a day before the start of the season, but for much of the offseason was 18 years old. And he has a lot of pop to his bat. Fun little story about Pineda. He has a tattoo of Pumbaa from The Lion King. A lot of players also call him Pumbaa. Runner at first base. The pitch, hacked at, that's lined down underneath the first baseman's glove. Canning will be held up as second as Cresto was able to get the ball there, but it's back-to-back singles with just one out. And Hagerstown is in business with a runner in scoring position.
Well, Hakuna Matata indeed of Pineda getting that base hit, and now it's runners at first and second. And how about that, back-to-back base hits for the Suns in the first inning at the plate?
It's not necessarily hitting that's been a struggle for the Suns. It's actually this situation where the Suns really struggled on the road. And that situation is hitting with runners in scoring position. And struck again last night on the season. They're hitting just .212. Meanwhile, Jacob Reinsmith coming to the plate. Again, runners on first and second with one out. The pitch. Breaking ball low, counts 1-0. Last night, they finished 4 for 19 with runners in scoring position, so they won the game 5-4 to set up their 5th one-run game out of 7 games. But beyond that, they weren't able to add on to that scoring total, and a lot of that comes from not being able to hit with runners in scoring position, because, man, did they leave a lot on. The pitch, low and inside. Now the count's 2-0. When you look at what this team did, they stranded 13 runners, and that was just yesterday on the base paths. So they left 13 runs, they scored 5 on there. You're not going to score all those runs, but you'd like to see them be able to get a hit in this exact situation. Good for Reinsmith to have the first opportunity in front of a home crowd cheering him on. 2-0 pitch, breaking ball low, and all of a sudden Lackey seems to have lost control of the strike zone. It was a first pitch ball to Pineda after Canning got on, and now he's behind 3-0 in the count. It's the bottom of the first inning. Both teams have 2 hits, 1 error for the Suns, and 1 run countered by the Tourists. Reinsmith, a big lefty playing in right field normally. The pitch, runner goes, fastball's outside, the throw is elevated, third baseman not able to get the tag. That's Datris, who is just not able to get the tag on Canning. And Pineda, really smart heads-up play, notices that the third baseman had left his feet and he wasn't going to be able to make a throw to second, so he scampered on over to second. Now there are 2 runners in scoring position, and those 90 feet with 1 out are so important. Now a single could score 2 runs and give Hagerstown the lead, and a sacrifice fly, of course, can tie the game.
That bigs up base running play by both guys, Pineda and Canning.
3-1 the count. Open base at first. We'll see what Lackey decides to do with Reinsmith. Here's the pitch, low and outside. The bases are juiced for the Hagerstown Suns, and there's not a better bat to come up than Gilbert Lara. On the season, Lara, not only one of the better average hitters on this team, he's at .286, but also the best power hitter this team has to boast. 2 home runs, 8 RBI on the year. That's good for a team lead, and he's only played 6 games. Now Asheville's going to trot out the pitching coach. That's Mark Brewer to talk to Shelby Lackey. And I think what he's talking about here may not be a mechanical thing. He's only been out there for less than an inning. Right now it's got to be all about your confidence on the hill.
Right, confidence is key, because if you don't have confidence, you're going to avoid the strike zone and start pitching around guys rather than attack and stick to your game plan. And guys like Lara, if you're going to miss your spot, he's going to make you pay.
And at this point, with the bases loaded, there's nowhere for a runner to go. Lakewood found that out in their opener against the Hagerstown Suns. First pitch, fastball at the belt, called strike one.
Seems just like the doctor ordered it. Brewer calming down Lackey out there.
Canning's at third, Pineda at second, Ryan Smith at first. Lackey on the hill is going to be coming from the stretch to the right-handed hitter, Lara. The pitch, breaking ball up high. Lara thought about it but didn't go. Counts now evened up 1-1. One away. Hagerstown trails in this one, but they've got a chance to do some damage. Bases juiced here with just one out. Lackey gets the call from his battery mate, McIver. McIver lined up inside, pitch, fastball, low and outside. And that's such a critical pitch, the 1-1 count. The difference between 1-2 and 2-1 is astronomical, especially at this level. Now, Lara can relax a little bit and wait for a pitch that he sees fit to try and drive, because ultimately a sacrifice fly is a win. It ties the game and it brings home his 9th run of the year. 2-1, fastball in on the hands. Counts 3-1, and it's got to be perfect at this point, because if it's not perfect, not only do you have the strike to take, but it could end up walking you and bringing in a run. Lackey takes a deep breath. Everyone ready? Two-step leads all around. The pitch in the dirt, ball 4. Gobert Lara takes a walk. Back-to-back walks after back-to-back singles can only mean one thing. One run has to score. This time it's Gage Canning. Pineda moving to third. Ryan Smith to second. And now the best average hitter on this team, KJ Harrison, who's hitting over 400 on the year, one of the top 10 averages in the South Atlantic League, is coming to the dish. His team tied 1-1 with the Asheville Tourists. The kick and the pitch. Fastball driven towards center. Heading back is Montero, and he can't get there. One run will easily score. Being waved home is Ryan Smith, and that's a 2-run double. It sends Lara all the way to third, and KJ Harrison gives the Hagerstown Suns their first lead at home in 2019. The score, 3-1 in the bottom of the first inning. Just one out, Hagerstown leading over the Asheville Tourists.
Talk about an ideal inning in front of the home crowd for the first time this season for the Suns. Absolutely pristine position for Lara and Harrison to get the pot cooking for the Suns at the plate.
And it's smart to be aggressive at the plate there. Lackey had been behind so often in the last couple of batters, you knew he was going to try and groove one. And if you're going to groove one, you groove it on pitch number 1 and hope the batter takes it. O'Connor at the dish. First pitch, he got him at the belt for strike 1. O'Connor's the designated hitter tonight, hitting 188 on the year. The designated hitter's been a tough spot for the Hagerstown Suns in 2019. Designated hitters do not have an extra base hit yet in 7 games. The pitch, fastball low. Counts evened up now 1-1. The other thing is designated hitters are hitting less than $1.50 for the Suns. So whoever gets the designated hitter spot in the lineup has almost been handed the black spot, so to speak. Runners on second and third. The pitch. That's going to be a chopper towards second. Vavra ends up throwing to first and gets him on time, but it scores another run. 2 away now. Score 4-1. That's Lara who came in. That was run number 4. Harrison moves towards third. Remember, he had the 2 RBI double, and O'Connor has a 4-3 ground out, but he will get credited with an RBI there. Kyle Marincone's coming up. Marincone's, the 8th batter to come to the plate this year. The pitch, called strike, counts 0-1. The other thing to remember is Hagerstown, before this game, in their 7 contests, had never scored more than 3 runs in an inning, so now they have a new season high, a 4-run inning. The pitch is going to be a ball low, counts evened up 1-1, still 2 away. They've managed 3 hits in this inning already. They've scored 4 runs, but I think the thing that's most important in front of a home crowd is they've shown patience. They've gotten a couple of walks, including one with the bases loaded. The pitch is lined foul on the third base side. You got to look out, but everyone appears to be okay in the stands, and I think another important thing to notice for Marincones is he's really starting to wake up as of late. He's reached safely at least once in each of his last 2 games, and he has a good swing on it early. That pitch is going to be fouled back this time. That one leaves Municipal Stadium just the wrong direction. Counts now 1-2. The stands filling out pretty nicely here on opening day in Hagerstown. Remember, there's still a runner on third. It's KJ Harrison. The pitch, just a bit outside. The catcher, McIver, tried to frame it. Wasn't able to get it there, though. Lackey's already offered quite a few pitches. This next one will be pitch number 30. The pitch is going to be blooped foul. A 30-pitch inning is not easy, no matter what level. You could be throwing to Little League players as a coach coach. And after 30 pitches, you kind of look down at your arm and you go, man, I'm feeling a little tired. At this level, when you're starting to throw 90, that's where it really starts to put some wear and tear. 2-2. Breaking ball just low, and now the count's full. You heard Lakewood's strategy in the last 3 games. What they're trying to do is have a starter go 5 innings, and then they try and have one reliever go 4 innings. It hasn't really worked out well for them. They've had to have that one extra reliever come in. The pitch is going to be driven towards center. On his way back is Montero. Over towards the Suns logo. It's a one-hopper off the wall. Harrison easily scores. And Marincones gets himself an RBI double. The Suns are going wild. It's a 5 spot here to start off their career at home in 2019. 5-1, they lead the Tourists. 4 hits so far in the inning, and guess what? Jose Sanchez, the only Suns batter not to hit in the first, is now at the dish.
Nothing like sending 9 players to the plate on your side of the things for your first home game, and Suns showing that they can absolutely crush the ball if you miss your spot, and Lackey is just really struggling out there.
And now, as you say it, an arm's starting to warm in the Asheville bullpen. First pitch up and away. And there are 2 types of limits you want to look at this level. Not only do you have a pitching limit, which at this point in the season is probably about 65, 70 pitches for most guys. Remember, they're still stretching out their arms. They didn't pitch in as many spring training games as major leaguers did. The pitch, breaking ball, waved at and missed. Counts now even at 1-1. The other thing is when you throw like Lackey has nearly 40 pitches in an inning, he's over at 35 with this next one. Throws back to second. The tag's not in time. Marincones was trying to sneak away from that one and almost got caught napping. But with him throwing this many pitches in the first, he might not get up again. From the stretch, here's the pitch. That's blooped right back over the press box. Lackey, for the first time in a long time, is ahead in the count now. It's 1-2. 2 away, runner at second. Marincones taking a 4-step lead. Vavra staying close to the bag at second, patting his mitt. He wants the ball again. He wants Lackey to try and throw back. Here's the pitch home, though. Swung on and missed. That'll do it for the Suns in the first inning. But, man, what a wild first inning it was. They tagged 5 runs on the Asheville Tourists, and they lead 5-1. You're listening to the Suns Baseball Network.
It's the late nights. It's the early mornings. It's working in the sunshine and rain and snow. It's the dedication, the care, the hours of training that led to the winner's circle. It's our job, our passion, our lives. We are the Horsemen.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
Hello and welcome back once again to Municipal Stadium. The Suns jumping out to a quick and exciting lead here in the first inning. 5-1 the score. If you're Jake Irvin, that's music to your ears. Quite a bit of run support for the Suns to start off the 2019 season. That's more runs than they've scored in an inning all year long, and it took one inning in front of the home crowd to get things started. Daniel Montano is going to start things off after him. John Cresto's due up. Daniel Jipping will be the final batter due, and if anyone reaches, then Kyle Datris will bat for the Suns. Montano, .250 batting average this year. First pitch to lefty, called strike on the outer edge. Counts 0-1. Asheville showed the ability to score in the first inning. They put one on the board. The next pitch, breaking ball inside and low. Counts evened up now, 1-1. No one out. Lefty twirls the bat a couple of times. Pineda lining up outside. The pitch fouled right back over the press box. Counts now 1-2, no one out. This is what baseball is all about in Hagerstown, a history that spans well over 100 years. The first season was played in 1896 here in Hagerstown, Maryland. 1-2 pitch, popped up foul on the third base side. Montano stays alive. One home run on the season for the center fielder. Irvin. The kick and the pitch. That's a slow chopper, just foul on an excuse-me swing from Montano. Around the horn, middle infielders deep. Corner outfielders are staying about where you do when no one's on base. 4 or 5 steps behind the bag. The pitch, breaking ball low and inside. Pineda thought he could frame it, wasn't able to do it, and now the count's 2-2. Just a bit outside. Counts 1-1 with one away. Hagerstown leads this game. 5-1's the score. 4 hits for the Suns to score 5 runs in the first inning. Certainly was exciting to watch. Irvin tosses home. That one's just low. Counts 2-1 with one away. A little breezy here. The wind going in from right field towards home plate makes it hard for a home run ball. 2-1 pitch, fastball upstairs. Counts now 3-1. Now, we said it would be difficult to hit a home run ball to right field, but you got to remember what happened in the first inning. 2 one-hoppers off the wall and 2 RBI doubles for the Hagerstown Suns offense, able to show power by driving it to all fields. 3-1 offering. That's going to be a chopper towards third. Lara gloves it, throws it to first, and Harrison receives it on time for out number 2. Fun little story about those two on the 5-3 combination. Neither of those two were in the Washington Nationals system on August 31st of last year. And it's not because they weren't drafted or signed yet. They were. Harrison was drafted. Lara signed. He was an international free agent, but both of them by the Milwaukee Brewers. So they were playing in single-A baseball, but they were playing for the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. The pitch, check swing fouled off, counts 0-1 to Daniel Jipping. When the Nationals traded away Gio Gonzalez to the Brewers to help the Brewers with their playoff run, remember that late-season surge with Christian Yelich? This is what the Nationals received in return. The corner infielders for the Suns. The pitch, fastball upstairs, gets away for Pineda, but no one on, 2 away, the count just becomes 1-1. And it certainly paid dividends. Harrison, who started last season slow, never had his statistics recover, so it didn't look great. He had more strikeouts than games played by far. It was over 170 strikeouts compared to just 115 games played. 1-1 offering right down the pipe. It's called strike 2. But this year, already on pace to do significantly better. He hasn't been striking out nearly as much. And in addition to that, he's been driving the ball and he's hitting .421. Obviously a small sample size, but he's matured quite a bit. 1-2 offering, breaking ball in the dirt. He can't get Jipping to offer, and now it's 2-2 with 2 away. Lara on the other side last year also played in single-A, and for the last 2 seasons he had trouble hitting over 200. That Mendoza line was about as high as he went. The pitch. Fastball called strike 3. And Jipping goes down looking. That'll end the frame. A pair of strikeouts for Irvin. 5-1's the score heading into the home half of the second inning. You're listening to the Suns Baseball Network.
Life can get in the way these days. We all know that. Work commitments, social commitments, volunteer commitments, family commitments. You put your heart into all of it. You've got enough to worry about already. Your roof shouldn't be one of those things. Everything should just work. But when your roof is in need of an upgrade, you shouldn't have to worry about that either. Modern Renovations, your 4-state roofing solution. Reminding you that home is where the heart really is.
The level of care that I got at WVU Medicine was top-notch.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
Is really an integration, looking at a clinical care network, looking at the good people who can help push the envelope and raise the bar for delivering a quality healthcare product.
To have my life back is absolutely a blessing. I'm beyond thankful for WVU Medicine. I absolutely 100% have my life back.
Hello and welcome back to Hagerstown, Maryland, where the Suns are playing the Asheville Tourists. The score quickly 5-1 in favor of Hagerstown, just the bottom of the second inning here at Municipal Stadium. Hagerstown batted around in the first inning. No other way to say it. They sent up all 9 in the order, had 4 hits, a couple of walks, and again, they scored 5 runs. A lot of that due to the middle of the order. KJ Harrison had a 2-run double, and then Kyle Marincones had his own RBI double. So 2 extra base hits really helped the Suns. And now Cody Wilson's coming up. Wilson did not get a hit to start off the inning last time, but now he has a second chance to lead off in as many frames. Pitch swung on and missed. Couldn't get a hold of the fastball. Counts now 0-1. Lackey getting another opportunity on the hill. He threw 36 pitches last inning. Only 20 for strikes. Remember, he walked a couple batters. 0-1 offering, outside. And now the count's evened up at 1-1. If you look over at the runs, hits, errors column for the Tourists, it's 1-2-0. The pitch, that's a chopper, just foul on the third baseline. For the Suns, 5-4 and 1 error. That error came in the first. It had nothing to do with the score. It was actually on the throw home for a sacrifice fly. It was cut off, and the throw to first was errant. It allowed a runner to move to second, but the runner was stranded regardless. Lackey with the 1-2. That's a fastball, and it paints the corner. Called strike 3. It's Lackey's second strikeout. He's matching Irvin now. And it'll bring Gage Canning to the dish. Canning scored the Suns' first run, and it all started after he singled. That's really what got Lackey out of sorts. The second Lackey had to go to the stretch, he started to struggle, and again, proves true, didn't come from the stretch against Wilson and got him going. Pitch is lined towards first, and it's gloved. What a play from Jipping. He was able to get the glove down on the dirt and close it without letting the ball get out of the trap, and that's out number 2. a line out to the first baseman. Israel Pineda's up. Pineda had a single and scored. You're going to hear that quite a bit because after Canning reached safely, everyone reached safely until Pablo O'Connor. Connor grounded out to second, but ended up driving in a run in the process as well. 2 away here. The pitch. Check swing. But he ended up going. It's called strike one. The breaking ball fooled the catcher. That one was way outside. Also a little bit low as the string was pulled on it. Pineda taps the plate twice. The pitch. Breaking ball low. Pineda hitting less than 200 on the year, but in his last couple of games, he's been really good. He started off the season without a hit. The pitch inside counts now 2-1. It was his first 4 games against Greensboro. He wasn't able to get a hit. He had an RBI in the series off a grounder, but he did not get a hit in the series. Now he's doing significantly better. He figured out against Lakewood. 2-1, fastball called strike 2. You gotta remember, it's a tall task. It's his first season playing stateside for the full season. Prior to that, he was in the Jamaican Summer League. He spent some time in short season ball with Auburn, but he's just 18 years old. 2-2, swung on and missed. Pineda goes down, and so do the Suns. 1-2-3 in that inning with 2 strikeouts. Lackey certainly regained some control. No matter, though, the Suns lead 5-1. We're headed to the 3rd on the Hagerstown Suns Baseball Network.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 south in Chambersburg.
We're heading to the 3rd frame, and we've got a little bit of a race on our hands here. It's a bunch of different alcohol heading over to the finish line, and it looks like the beer can ends up winning, and Pink Elephant comes in last place. That's brought to you by Central City Liquors, and every home game this season will be graced by the Central City Liquors race here at Municipal Stadium. That's just the first one out of 70 that we'll see. Meanwhile, Jake Irvin's got himself a little race headed on right now. His team's leading 5-1. He allowed 2 hits. Both those came in the first inning. Last inning, 3 up, 3 down. He really looked good. A pair of strikeouts. Ended the inning with a strikeout swinging. And he got one looking as well earlier in the frame. Datris heading up to the plate for the first time. The third baseman wearing number 3 today. Steps into the right-handed batter's box. He's hitting .333, a 9-hitter that can truthfully turn over the lineup for Asheville. The pitch, fastball upstairs, called ball 1. And it's so crucial for a team like Asheville, a team that really thrives off of good offense, and it's not just this way early on in 2019. The 1-0. Swung on. It's lifted towards left center field. Coming over is Canning. He meets up with Wilson, who calls him off, and he makes the grab cap high. That's out number 1. A quick fly out, and now, all of a sudden, you look down at your scorebook, and hey, that's 6 straight retired for Jake Irvin. He let the second and third batters reach on him, but since then, he's looked pretty good, and he's been efficient with his pitch count, too. That last pitch was pitch number 36, 24 of which have been for strikes. 2/3 strike percentage, not bad. First pitch called strike on the outside corner. Golson flew out to right field to start off the ball game. A lazy popper that Rhinesmith was able to grab. 0-1 offering. That's just low, but right down the middle of the plate. Counts now 1-1 with one out. Patrick Anderson's got to be happy with his team early on. That 5-run first really kind of knocked some wind out of the sails of the Asheville Tourists. Pitch on the outside edge. That's called strike 2. Counts 1-2. There's one away here. Irvin waiting for Golson to get back into the batter's box. A little mind game. Try and throw the pitcher off his rhythm. Take your time outside. 1-2 offering. It's going to be swung on and missed. Pineda dropped it, though. He heads back to the track, throws to first, and he beats him there. It's a K2-3. Harrison on the receiving end of the throw. That's the third strikeout of the game so far for Jake Irvin. All three in the last 1 2/3 innings pitched. Vava now coming up. Vava, the only extra base hit for this Tourist team so far. For those listening at home, scores 5-1. Suns up. The pitch, check swing, but he ended up going. Counts 0-1. That pitch was a bit inside, but he couldn't hold up on the cheddar. 2 away here, top of the third inning. Irvin kicks and throws home. That one even further inside. No offer from Vava, and now the count's evened up 1-1. Hagerstown's mustered up 4 hits, 1 error. Meanwhile, the Tourists 2 hits, no errors to go along with their 1 run. Infield pretty deep. Outfield shaded slightly to left. The pitch, called ball upstairs. The count's now 2-1. Irvin behind for what seems like the first time in a very long time in the count. Gets the call from Pineda. The pitch, fastball. It's a high fly ball to shallow center. Wilson in on it, makes the grab, and that's out number 3 for the second consecutive inning. Irvin sets him down in order. He pats his chest and heads over to the first base dugout. He's ready to sit down and let his offense have another opportunity in the bottom of the third. You're listening to the Hagerstown Suns Baseball Network.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families like yours for generations, since 1880. Whether you want to plan ahead or you need us now. Our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
WU Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population, of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources.
Certainly has helped take us to another level.
Hello and welcome back to Municipal Stadium. Suns lead 5-1. It's the home half of the third inning. And man, Jake Irvin's looked great so far. 44 pitches, 29 for strikes. He's really settled into the game, retiring 7 straight to end that last frame. And the offense kicked it off with a bang. 5 runs in the first inning. After being set down 1-2-3 with a pair of strikeouts in the second, it's the heart of the order due up once again. Jacob Rhinesmith, Gilbert Lara, and KJ Harrison. Rhinesmith and Lara both walked back in the first, and they scored the third and fourth runs of the game. Lefty to the dish. The kick and the pitch, just a bit outside. Counts now 1-0. Lackey still out on the hill. Pitch count starting to look a bit better. 46-1-0. That's driven towards center. Stared at, and Montero goes back, makes the grab. That's out number 1. The catch came from Montaineer. Gilbert Lara coming up. He walked in his first at-bat, came around to score. Batting with an open stance today, catcher on the inside half. That's going to be chopped foul on the third base side. Counts now 0-1, 1 away. Suns leading this one, 5-1's the score. There's nothing that helps kind of make the order a little bit easier. That one's chopped towards second, gobbled up. The throw to first from Vava on time. That's out number 2. The offense able to breathe easy, though, because they have a 4-run lead. Hagerstown's won 2 games this year, both by just 1 run. They've lost 3 of the 5 games that they've lost by, you guessed it, 1 run. So 5 of the 7 games they've played this year have been super tight. They've been victims of a walk-off loss. They've also had a blown save this year. The pitch, check swing, no matter, it's called strike to Harrison. Counts 0-1, 2 away. But now they've got a little bit of comfort, leading 5-1. The pitch, called strike. Fastball blazes past the eyes of Harrison. He's behind 0-2, something we haven't seen too much from him this season. Batting average improves to .450 after the first at-bat hit. 0-2, chopped foul. Harrison defending there, didn't love the pitch, but was willing to go out of his comfort zone a little bit. Checks his swing and sends it foul. Live to see another pitch and see what damage you can do with that. 0-2 is going to be grounded towards short. It's picked up. The throw on time for out number 3. Hagerstown, victim of their second straight 1-2-3 inning. Both clubs have gone 1-2-3 in both the second and the third. We're now heading to the 4th inning, and when we come back, Ray Jensen will have the call on the Suns Baseball Network.
Welcome to La Bella Vita, named for my Grandma Vita. Our mountaintop getaway honors her legacy while complementing the home's spectacular views. This recently renovated property boasts a breathtaking landscape of Deep Creek Lake while providing great open interior spaces for a sensational vacation. You'll immediately notice the great room allows for entertaining, dining, and relaxing after long days on the lake or skiing on the slopes of Wisp. Your family and friends will enjoy relaxing in all the open spaces. The home features 6 bedrooms, including 4 that are private suites. And each of the 4 levels of this home feature amazing visibility as far as the eye can see. Like our family, we hope you enjoy making memories here on the mountain. We love sharing the spacious, warm, and inviting home that overlooks the lake. Cheers to the beautiful life, La Bella Vita.
Whether you need business cards, banners, magnets, office stationery, or promo material, Panhandle Printing and Design can make it happen. Call 304-267-7400 for a quote or visit us on the web at panhandleprintdesign.com.
Leading on the top of the board for the Asheville Toursists, designated hitter Grant Levine.
Welcome back to historic Municipal Stadium. Entering the 4th inning of play here as the Hagerstown Suns take on the Asheville Tourists in their first home contest of 2019. Ray Jensen here with you, part of the Hagerstown Suns radio network. Start off this 4th inning for the Tourists will be Grant Levine, followed by Willie McIver and Coco Montez. Barring any more Tourists get on. Jake Irvin out for a 4th inning of work. First pitch misses for ball 1. It's 1-0 to start. Levine, who's already 1 for 1 tonight with a base hit in the 1st inning, then reached second on an errant throw from third baseman Lara of the Suns. 1-0, swing and miss by Levine for strike 1, evens the count up at 1-1. A lot of hype surrounding this young man, first baseman Grant Levine, the 8th overall prospect in the Rockies system according to MLB.com. Pitch. 1-1 misses upstairs, ball 2. It's 2 balls, 1 strike Now on Levine. Levine on the year, batting .200 entering play tonight. It's on base at a decent clip at .304. 2-1. Swung on by Levine. Just gets a piece, fouls it off the netting for strike 2. Evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Overcast skies here as we head towards the evening hours in Hagerstown, but weather is cooperating for the most part. Levine is back in. Ready from the left side, and the 2-2 from Irvin. Swung on and right back to the glove of Irvin. Barely had to make a step to his left to snag it out of the air. Excellent heads-up play on the fielding sides of things from the Suns starter. That ball hit by Levine misses the glove of Irvin or just tips off it. Who knows? It probably goes in the shallow right field of Levine's power. And Irvin snags it out of the air for out number 1. No one on and 1 out for the catcher for the Tourists tonight, Willie McIver. No hits, but has an RBI already on the young knight, as he has an RBI sac fly in the first inning. Drove in the only run thus far for Asheville. First pitch from Irvin in there for strike 1. It's 0-1 the count. Start McIver. Irvin steps, delivers the 0-1. Curve misses for ball 1. It's 1-1 the count on McIver, a 9th round pick last year for the Colorado Rockies out of Washington. It's a California boy, as he calls Pleasant Hill, California home. It's a 1-1 from Irvin, swung on by McIver and line foul first base side out of play. Moves the count to 1-2. McIver, an impressive batting line entering tonight, particularly his slugging percentage. Only a .958. The 1-2 from Irvin. Swung on by McIver. Popped up. High but shallow. Is it heading towards the grandstands? And looks like it'll go out of play, and it does. McIver heads back to the box. It remains 1-2. Score is 5-1 in favor of Hagerstown, and all the runs from either side tonight have come in the first inning. Hagerstown absolutely exploded in the first thanks to a couple of missed spots from their starter tonight for the Asheville Tourists and Shelby Lackey. But a couple of extra base hits as well have helped the matter. Make it a 5-1 lead. The 1-2 swung on by McIver and just past the leaping glove of Sanchez and short, and it tips off in the shallow center field. It's going to be a base hit for Willie McIver. Sanchez does have defensive range, and looks like he just got a piece of it but glanced off the glove. They counted a hit for McIver, so 1 on, 1 out with McIver at first for the shortstop, Coco Montez. Montez 0 for 1 thus far, but ground out to second base for the final out of the first inning. Montez steps in from the right side. Swings the lumber, now rested above the shoulder. Irvin nods at the signal. First offering swung on by Montez and fouled over us here in press level out of play. No balls, 1 strike to count. Start Montez. Even stance from the Asheville Tourist shortstop as Irvin is set and now delivers the 0-1 pitch. That just misses inside for ball 1 and a fastball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Coco Montez. Spent last season of Grand Junction. And Montez was a 15th round pick out of South Florida, native of Miami. Irvin nods at Pineda. Now the 1-1 offering swung on by Montez, and that's fouled off the netting for strike 2. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Now for Montez. Montez waves the bat. Now raises Irvin nods and down delivers the 1-2 offering to the right and low for Pineda. Has to clamber on it to his right side, but prevents the runner at first base, McIver, from advancing. Just a ball, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count evened up for Montez. just the beginning of a 7-game homestand for Hagerstown. They'll face these Asheville Tourists in a 4-game series, and then starting later in the week, they'll face the Lexington Legends to finish out a 7-game homestand. Before the 2-2's delivered, Irvin checks in at first, and MacGyver gets back in time. The Suns have already proven their base running ability this evening. A couple of steals already for the Hub City. Tourists being kept in check now is the 2-2. Fastball misses outside ball 3. It's now a full count run up for Coco Montez. Montez search for signals. That's just 208 coming into tonight. Does have a handful of hits, with a couple of extra base hits to those numbers. A double and a triple to be exact. Irvin has the ball in the black glove, delivers the full count pitch. Swung on by Montez, fouled off just in front of the stand's third base side. MacGyver is running on the full count offering, has to tread back. The scores. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Suns lead by 4. They're also out hitting Asheville tonight 4-3 due to the sole error on the night. Full count offering, runner going, and MacGyver. It's called the ball anyway, and it'll be a walk issue to Coco Montez. So following a base hit from Willie MacGyver, and now a walk issue to the shortstop Coco Montez. Asheville has runners at first and second if one out. In the top of the 4th brings up Daniel Montano. Montano was called out on strikes his last time up to begin the 2nd inning at the plate for Asheville. Irvin shrugs the shoulders, now offers the first pitch to Montano, and this is outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Start the center fielder for Asheville tonight. Montano, the Venezuelan native. Non-drafted free agent signed by the Rockies organization in 2015. Spent last year in Grand Junction, as in most cases of these Asheville players, as the 1-0 misses upstairs for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Montano had to get out of the way of that one in a hurry. 2 balls, no strikes as Montano taps plate, but time is called. Looks like Israel Pinedo will come out to discuss things of Irvin. Also, pitching coach Mac Jenkins for the Suns is going to come out and talks things over. Runner at first and second for Asheville. At the top of the 4th, 5-1 the score in favor of Hagerstown, but they don't want that lead to get away early, as Hagerstown has been in a lot of close contests this year. A lot of one-run games. They won last night 5-4 against the Lakewood Blue Claws. They've had 5 one-run games this season. They are 2-3 in contests decided by 1 run. They've also lost those one-run games in dramatic fashion, with a walk-off hit in extra innings and then a blown save opportunity. Just 2 of those 3 one-run losses. Mac Jenkins finished up his conversation with Jake Irvin. 2-0 the count resumed for Daniel Montano. The 2-0 swung on by Montano, driven to shallow center field. Coming in is Wilson. Wilson has the ball, and he'll retire for out number 2. Holds the base runners in check. MacGyver and Montez both look like they were hoping that ball would drop in front of Wilson, but to no avail. Cody Wilson read that ball well from the beginning. Results in out number 2. 2 on, 2 out for the Tourists here in the 4th. Brings up John Cresto. Cresto, the right fielder, 0 for 1 of a ground out, the 3rd for the 2nd out in the 2nd. Irvin from one side of the rubber. First offering curve misses inside for ball 1. It's 1 of the count. Start John Cresto. Cresto, like a lot of his Asheville teammates, has gotten off to a hot start to begin the year. Comes into tonight batting .421. Irvin steps in the 1-0. Misses outside of Pineda, and Pineda jumped to his right and stumbled on the ball. His left foot went on the ball itself, and he tumbled there. A bit of a embarrassing moment, but base runners don't advance, so just red in the face and nothing else is Israel Pineda. 2 balls, no strikes to count for Cresto as he steps back in the batter's box. Slightly open stance from the right side. Irvin looks back to the runner at second, and McIver now delivers the 2-0. Swung on and fouled right at the plate by Cresto for a strike. Moves the count to 2-1. Base hit from McIver a couple of batters ago. The first hit from either side in the past 2 innings since the first, when all the offense came in bunches, especially for the Suns. 2-1 swung on by Cresto, and that's lined the shallow center field for a base hit. Coming around third and putting on the brakes is McIver, and they'll hold it to a single. Everyone just moves just 1. Cody Wilson had a good read in that ball. Didn't grab it, of course, as it landed in front for a base hit, but a heads-up throw towards the infield prevented McIver from trying to go towards home plate and try to cut the 4-run deficit. A precarious situation regardless the Suns find themselves in. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. And here comes Daniel Jipping. First pitch from Irvin misses outside for a ball. It's 1-0 the count to start Jipping. Jipping a victim of a strikeout, looking to end the second inning. Came in tonight batting .250, just a couple of hits to his name thus far in the season, with a double. Has driven in 2. Irvin steps, and now the 1-0. Fastball misses low, and it's outside for ball 2. It's now 2 balls, no strikes for the first baseman, Jipping. Asheville, with the bases loaded in the season, came in tonight batting .400. Jipping has a double with the bases loaded as the 2-0. That finds its own for strike 1. Now 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Irvin locked in the strike zone early, and the going seems to not be letting up here in the 4th. Struggled with the first 2 pitches, 2 straight balls, and now seems locked in. 2-1. Irvin long looking into Pineda now. Jipping will call time. First baseman takes a deep breath and now steps back in with an even stance. Irvin with the glove in front, now from the belt. Hickson fires the 2-1, swung on by Jipping, and a ball hit towards right field, but it's going to drift foul towards the front office, and it hits off the roof of the front office building for the Suns and back towards the field. He was the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Easy on the front office, boys. We got to make that thing last all season. Can't have any holes in the roof after the first home game, no less. 2-2 the count. 2 outs. Suns trying to make it still a 4-run lead for them. 2-2 swung on by Jipping, and that one just foul third base side. Almost got a piece of McIver. He's coming off the third base bag. Everyone's all right. Remains a 2-2 count. Jipping swings the bat around, now settles from behind the helmet. Irvin offers the 2-2. Swung on by Jipping and tracking towards right field. Going back is Ryan Smith, now towards the warning track, able to claim it, and that will retire the side. The Suns leave the bases full of Asheville tourists, and that's what you like to see. It maintains a 4-run lead. It's still 5-1, the scores we head to the bottom of the 4th. Let's see if the Suns can add on. You're listening to Hagerstown Suns Baseball on the Suns Radio Network.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
Hagerstown Suns designated hitter Pablo O'Connor.
Ready for the home half of the 4th inning here at historic Municipal Stadium. Ray Jensen back with you. It's a 5-1 lead for the Hagerstown Suns, and the Suns look to increase the lead. Shelby Lackey starts off with a first pitch strike to leadoff batter for the Suns, Pablo O'Connor. O'Connor with an RBI and an RBI ground out in the first, but nothing else, as the 0-1 that misses outside for a ball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike for Pablo O'Connor. 27th round pick of the Sun for the Hagerstown. Found his way to Hagerstown after playing double days last season. Gets a base hit to right field on the 1-1 offering from Lackey, and the Suns are already a runner aboard in the first batter here in the 4th inning. O'Connor gets his 4th hit of the season to start off the Suns' 4th. 1 on, no one out for the Suns, and Kyle Marincones at the plate for his 2nd time this evening. Already have an extra base hit on the night, an RBI double to round out the Suns' stout offense in the first. First offering from Lackey, right down the chute for a strike at the fastball, 0-1. Start Marincones. Lefty is ready, as is Lackey, the 0-1. Misses low for ball 1, and trying to take too many steps from first is Pablo O'Connor as the throw down from McIver. Not in time. One the count. O'Connor still safe at first, despite the throw down from McIver. Lackey readies and delivers the 1-1. Swung on by Marincones, a roller to shortstop, struggled by Montez, and everybody's going to be safe. It's going to be scored an error on Coco Montez. That ball just got into him, and he didn't know what to do with it. Went towards his midsection. Looked like a pretty routine ground ball to right to him, and it just ate him up. That's the first error of the night for the Tourists, and it results in 2 runners on board for the Suns. Runner at second in O'Connor, and now runner at first in Kyle Marincones for Jose Sanchez, the shortstop for the Suns. He's 0 for 1 though this far tonight with a strikeout, and ended the long first inning for Hagerstown. Shows bunt on the first offering, bunts it straight up, and ditching the mask is McIver, and he dives to no avail. Can't make a play on the ball. Sanchez fortunate that ball didn't find its way to McIver's glove. Count moves to 0-1. Sanchez ready for the open stance on the right side. On the ball of his left foot. Right foot planted as Lackey checks over at first base. And back in time is Marincone safely. Still 0-1 to count to Sanchez following the failed bunt attempt. Try to go straight up to the moon on that one. And the failed bunt. Lackey is ready from the belt, the 0-1. Her ball misses low for a ball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to count for the shortstop Sanchez. Collected 2 hits last night. Also collected 2 RBI. In the series against Lakewood, he was 2 for 8 overall with the 2 RBI from the finale. 2 strikeouts. 1-1 the count as Sanchez readies. Lackey ball and glove, takes a quick look to second, and O'Connor now delivers the 1-1. Swung on by Sanchez, fouled first base, side out of play. Moves the count up a tick to 1-2. Tomorrow, we'll continue the opening weekend festivities with first 500 fans through the gates of historic Municipal Stadium collecting a magnet schedule. Just don't put it on your computers, folks. The 1-2. Swung on and missed by Sanchez for strike 3. Sanchez not able to get either teammate in and strikes out for the first out here in the 4th. But no worry, still a couple of chances left to score either O'Connor or Marincone as Cody Wilson steps in as we're now back to the top of the order, ready to go through the Suns batting lineup for a 3rd time. Wilson 0 for 2 with a ground out and strikeout, but has made some heads-up defensive plays on the evening. Lackey is ready in the first offering. Hefty hack by Wilson, but he gets nothing but air for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Lackey decided to just blow a heater right past him. 0-1 the count to start. Wilson is Lackey settles, looks to second, now delivers the 0-1 pitch. This one it's out inside. Wilson swings at it too as well. It's 0-2 now for the Suns center fielder. Wilson went 0 for last night against the Lakewood Blue Claws, 0 for 4, but did bring in a run. Overall, did not collect a hit in that series, went 0 for 7. But had a couple of walks and stole 3 bags. The 0-2. That'll miss way outside for a ball. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now for Cody Wilson. Wilson, a 13th round pick. The Washington Nationals in last season's draft, 2018 draft. Played last year in Auburn. It's the 1-2. Swung on by Wilson. He stays alive at the 1-2 count as he fouls it off towards the netting. Wilson's been fighting in his at-bats all night. He's not been an easy out despite the 0 for 2 performance thus far. And the more pitches he enables his teammates to see, the better. The 1-2. That misses inside ball 2, almost near the hips of Wilson. Evens up the count at 2-2. Scores 5-1 here in the bottom of the 4th in favor of Hagerstown, out hitting and outscoring Asheville thus far. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th, runners at first and second. Hagerstown came in tonight batting in the low 200s and with runners in scoring position. Look to help that mark as the 2-2 misses upstairs for ball 3. The count runs full for Cody Wilson. Full count for the center fielder, the Suns, who readies for the payoff pitch from Lackey. Quick look to second from the starter, now turns and tries to stare down runner at second and O'Connor, who's back in time. O'Connor was almost thrown out earlier on a throw down from the catcher MacGyver, but to no avail. A lot of checkovers at second in particular from Lackey tonight in the early goings of this one. No one been caught stealing yet for Hagerstown. Full count pitch swung on by Wilson into the glove of the third baseman, and D'Artez goes to second in time, and the first that is in time. Umpire not in time. Did not complete the double play. It's a fielder's choice. Wilson, if his speed, able to leg it out. My eye, I thought it was an out, but he beat it by just a step. Out is recorded at second in Marincones, but O'Connor able to evade the glove work and heads to third. So runners at the corners of 2 outs now for the Suns. Brings up Gage Canning. Lackey ready from the left side of the rubber. First pitch, just outside for ball. Ball 1 to start. Gage Canning, who is 1 for 2. Base hit and a run scored in the first, and lined out right to the first baseman and jipping for out number 2 in the second. 1 ball, no strikes. So Lackey checks over at first, back in plenty of time is Cody Wilson. One ball, no strikes. Ball behind the back for Lackey now. In the light brown glove. Kicks and deals. Going on the pitch is Wilson. Pitches low for a ball, and Wilson slides in feet first of a stolen base. Cody Wilson racking up the stolen bases. As we mentioned, he has had 3 stolen bases in the Lakewood series alone. Now adds another one here in the first Suns home game of 2019. The 1-1 from Lackey. That'll miss low for ball 2. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. And Gage Canning. Canning from the left side waits the 2-1. A couple lefties in the Suns lineup this evening. Lackey steps and delivers the 2-1, swung on by Canning, stays alive as he fouls it just to the left of the home plate, more towards the backstop. Evens the count up though at 2-2. Canning thus far this season with the longest hit streak of any Suns player of 4 games. Was cut short during the Lakewood series, but in the finale able to get a hit. It's 1 for 5 in the last game. 2-2, not able to get anything here as he swings and misses for strike 3, and that will retire the side. So Hagerstown not able to add on to their lead, but they lead still by 4, 5-1 as we head to the 5th. More Suns baseball coming up next. Stay tuned right here on the Hagerstown Suns Radio Network.
It's the late nights. It's the early mornings. It's working in the sunshine and rain and snow. It's the dedication, the care, the hours of training that led to the winner's circle. It's our job, our passion, our lives. We are the horsemen.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families like yours for generations, since 1880. Whether you want to plan ahead or you need us now. Our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown Ranson. We're here when you need us.
Life can get in the way these days. We all know that. Work commitments, social commitments, volunteer commitments, family commitments. You put your heart into all of it. You've got enough to worry about already. Your roof shouldn't be one of those things. Everything should just work. But when your roof is in need of an upgrade, you shouldn't have to worry about that either. Modern Renovations, your 4-state roofing solution. Reminding you that home is where the heart really is.
Runners home were not able to do so, and won't help the runners in scoring position numbers throughout the season, but they've been doing well in the early goings as they plated 5 runs in the first inning alone. 5 runs on 4 hits. They have 1 since that first inning. They collected that on a base hit from Pablo O'Connor. So despite the 0 for ever since the first inning, but they still maintain a 4-run lead. Jake Irvin out for another inning of work, and he has been doing well thus far. Has just allowed 4 hits so far in the evening. 1 run across. Being one of his finer outings thus far on the season. Last time out, he won 5 innings and gave up 5 runs. Just 4 were earned, though, 4 strikeouts. As let's start against the Greensboro Grasshoppers. Leading off the inning for the Tourists will be Kyle Datris, followed by Will Golson and Taryn Vavra. Be the 3 due up for Asheville here in the top of the 5th. Datris taps the plate a couple times. Now waits their first offering from Irvin. Steps and the first pitch. This is upstairs for ball 1. It's 1 ball and no strikes to count on Kyle Datris. Datris, his only other time up, flew out the center field for his first out in the 3rd. The 1-0. A miss inside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes on Kyle Datris. Irvin, as we mentioned, likes to attack the strike zone early, but has just not been able to do it in the early offerings here in the 5th. 2-0. That finds the zone in the corner and exact 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Irvin was a 4th round pick in last year's draft by the Suns. There's the 2-1. Swung on by Datris, fielded by Lara at 3rd, throw to the 1st, and plenty of time to retire Datris for out number 1. 5-3 of the putout for out number 1 on Datris. We now go back to the top of the order for the Tourists. And Will Golson. Golson 0 for 2 with a fly out and strikeout. A normally consistent leadoff hitter for these Tourists. Has struggled so far tonight. Let's hopefully see those struggles continue against the Suns. Irvin steps, delivers the first offering. Tad high for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strike on Golson. Golson out of Columbus, Mississippi, a 26th round pick last year. The 1-0 swung on by Golson and tracking towards right field. Going towards right is Ryan Smith, and he retires it in stride for out number 2. Well struck ball by Golson, but Ryan Smith able to keep a couple strides to his right and track it down for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down here in the 5th for Asheville, and brings it up to Taryn Vavra. Vavra had that big double in the first inning, also scored a run. First offering from Irvin, misses inside for a ball. It's 1 the count on Vavra. The next offering, swung on by Vavra and fouled first base side as he goes towards the bullpen. Fielding out there from a Suns player helping another warm up, and it's 1-1 to count. Got to stay fresh. One on 1 to count. Irvin fires the 1-1 to Vavra. That is in there for strike 2, and the fastball, 1 ball, 2 strikes. No one on for the Tourists, and 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Irvin steps and fires the 1-2. That'll go low for ball 2, and it evens the count at 2-2 for Vavra. Balls, 2 strikes to count. Irvin steps and fires the next offering. Swung on and tipped by Vavra. He stays alive at a 2-2 count. Vavra played last season for Boise in the Rocky system. Was selected last year in the 3rd round out of Minnesota. Calls Menominee, Wisconsin home. I like to think I can know the crazy names of Wisconsin. The 2-2 misses inside for ball 3, 3 balls, 2 strikes. For Vavra, a full count now for the Asheville second baseman. You got Ashwaubenon, Menominee, Kenosha. Crazy town names in the Badger State. Full count offering from Irvin. That misses low and slightly away for ball 4, and it's a walk with 2 outs issued to Vavra, and that's a pitcher's biggest frustrations is issuing free bases with 2 outs on the board. Infield comes in as the skipper Patrick Anderson comes out to discuss things with Jake Irvin. Looks like they will be pulling him as Irvin is finished after 4 2/3, and able to get to 5 tonight. Stiller outing regardless, 4 2/3 of 1-run ball, and he will give way to a Suns reliever. We'll tell you about the new Suns pitcher after this. You're listening to Hagerstown Suns Baseball on the Suns Radio Network.
It's the late nights. It's the early mornings. It's working in the sunshine and rain and snow. It's the dedication, the care, the hours of training that led to the winner's circle. It's our job, our passion, our lives. We are the Horsemen.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself.
New hurler for the Suns in the mound as we come back to the top of the 5th and historic Municipal Stadium. Ray Jensen back with you. New pitcher on the rubber for Hagerstown is one Carson Teal. Left-hander is spotless record of a spotless ERA so far in the season, making his 2nd appearance on the mound for the Suns. His last came on April 7th at Greensboro. It was an extended outing, 2 1/3. Suffered the loss to Greensboro. He allowed 2 hits and struck out 3. Suns trying to keep a 4-run lead intact. Jake Irvin exited the game after 4 2/3 of 1-run ball. Issued a 2-out walk to Taryn Vavra, and that was enough for Patrick Anderson. Give him the hook and allow Carson Teal a chance to keep the Suns in this one. All the offense from either side this far came in the very first frame, with Hagerstown setting a season high for most runs in a frame thus far in the young season at 5, with a 4-hit, 5-run first. That came after the Tourists put one on the board thanks to an RBI sac fly from Willie McIver to score Taryn Vavra, who is at first following a 2-out walk from Irvin. But Teal now on the rubber for the Suns, and he will face one Grant Levine. Levine 1-2 with a base hit and a line out thus far on his evening. The lefty Teal was back slightly turned towards the plate, sets and fires the first offering. First pitch in there for a strike. It's 0-1 the count to start Levine. Teal, the lefty, stands 6 foot tall. He's in at 160. Was drafted in the 18th round of last season's amateur draft by the Nationals. 0-1, they appeal on the check swing. They say he went around. It's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to count, and Teal ahead early on Grant Levine. Levine takes a couple hacks, now raised behind the batting helmet. Teal steps and fires the 0-2. That curve will miss outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Grant Levine. Teal played his college ball at Oklahoma. He was drafted actually as well in the 2017 MLB amateur draft in the 27th round by Boston, but decided to return to Oklahoma instead. The 1-2 from Teal. That misses low as well for ball 2, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. All 2s lighted up on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A runner at first for Asheville. Suns trying to remain in control of a 4-run lead. They currently lead 5-1 here in the 5th. Teal looking to shrug off the 2 misses after 2 strikes. Start off this batting with Levine, the 2-2, and then he'll miss. Lone gets behind Pineda for ball 3, gets away from Pineda, in fact, and running on the wild pitch to second is Vavra. So now runner in scoring position of 2 outs for Asheville in the 5th as Vavra moves on the wild pitch from Teal. Count runs full for Levine. Levine slugging an even .300 on the young year. So he waits a full count offering from Teal. Teal set, looks to second, and obliges the 3-2. Swung on by Levine and screams this one foul, first base side towards the front office building. And remains a full count on the designated hitter for Asheville. Remains a full count for Levine, who readies an open stance from the left side. Teal now set as well. There to look to second, and Vavra now delivers the full count pitch, and he's punched out for strike 3. Caught looking in strike 3 is Levine, and that will retire the side. They strand the runner in scoring position and keep it a scoreless frame in the 5th. 5-1 Suns lead as we head to the home half of the 5th. Coming up next, the Suns look to add some more insurance runs after this on the Suns Radio Network.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
WU Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources.
Certainly has helped take us to another level.
Welcome to La Bella Vita, named for my Grandma Vita. Our mountaintop getaway honors her legacy while complementing the home's spectacular views. This recently renovated property boasts a breathtaking landscape of Deep Creek Lake while providing great open interior spaces for a sensational vacation. You'll immediately notice the great room allows for entertaining, dining, and relaxing after long days on the lake or skiing on the slopes of Whisk. Your family and friends will enjoy relaxing in all the open spaces. The home features 6 bedrooms, including 4 that are private suites. And each of the 4 levels of this home feature amazing visibility as far as the eye can see. Like our family, we hope you enjoy making memories here on the mountain. We love sharing the spacious, warm, and inviting home that overlooks the lake. Cheers to the beautiful life, La Bella Vita.
Asheville started tonight. Shelby Lackey done after 4 innings of work. 4 innings of work for Lackey. 5 hits, 5 runs on those 5 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. And his start this evening, and he gives way to Poulin. Poulin will face of the Hagerstown order Israel Pineda, followed by Jacob Reinsmith and Gilbert Lara. The 3 due up for the Hub City here in the home half of the 5th. Suns so far tonight have only needed 1 inning for their scoring thus far. A 5-run first. At that, they get their first inning in front of the home crowd off on the right foot. It's been all 0 for cents from either side. A hit there, hit here, but no run production since the first frame. Israel Pineda will come up as 1 for 2 on the night. A base hit in the first, a run scored in that same frame, but he struck out swinging to end the second frame. One of 2 1-2-3 innings for the Suns offensively. Tell you a little more about PJ Poulin, the new pitcher for Asheville. He was drafted last season in the 11th round by the Colorado Rockies. Played his college ball with Connecticut. So far in the year, 1-0 record of a spotless ERA, making his 4th appearance on the season. Has pitched 3 previous relief innings allowing just 1 run, which is unearned. 2 hits, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. It's held batters to a 200 average so far on the year. Ready throws down. We're ready to get the bottom of the 5th underway. Pullen will face the catcher, Israel Pineda. Pineda already with a base hit on his night, got that in the first frame. And that big 5-run frame for the Suns. Righty readies. And Pullen. It's ball in the glove just under the chin, now towards the belt. Lefty fires, and that's in there for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike for Israel Pineda. Pineda playing last year of the Auburn Double Days, hitting .273 with a nice on-base percentage of .341. Pullen readies, now the 0-1, swung on and missed by Pineda for strike 2. It's now quickly 0-2, Pullen ahead on the Suns' backstop. Pullen with the glove tucked under the shoulder. Now, ball in glove as he sets at the belt. Kicks and fires the 0-2, that misses inside for a ball. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Israel Pineda. Pineda taps the plate from either side, now settles. That behind the head as Pullen nods in agreement with his catcher, McIver. Kicks and delivers the 1-2, swung on by Pineda. Foul first base side out of play. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lights on and full blast here at Municipal Stadium as less and less sunlight coming through on this Thursday evening. We're happy you could join us wherever and however you may be listening on the Suns Radio Network and on various media outlets. 1-2. Fastball is outside for ball 2. I'd like to welcome the audience on TV 10 WRNR. Happy to make our partnership with them this season, covering the Suns for a select couple of games. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count on PJ Pullen against Israel Pineda. Comes to 2-2. This is outside. Pineda wanted to offer, but pulled back in plenty of time. They hit a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pineda set as is Pullen. Fiddles for the grip that he wants and now lowers towards his chest. Lifts the leg and fires the full count offering. Swung on and missed by Pineda for strike 3, and that will be out number 1 here in the 5th. Pineda, the 2nd strikeout tonight. One out, no one on for Hagerstown, and brings up Jacob Rhinesmith. 0 for 1 is Rhinesmith. Give a walk, but a run scored in the big first. Flew out the center field for the first out in the 3rd. That's been it for the tall outfielder for Hagerstown. Playing in right field tonight, has had a couple of fly balls hit his way as the first offering misses low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Rhinesmith. Still trying to find his way in average. Came into tonight batting just 95. But has made his presence known with his glove. Pullen set and fires the 1-0. That's a called strike for strike number 1 in the fastball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike for Jacob Rhinesmith. Swings the bat around in front, now ready's behind the head. 1-1 swung on by Rhinesmith. A hopper towards second base, has it on the hop is Vavra, and he throws to first in time to retire Rhinesmith for out number 2. 4-3 on the put out if you're scoring at home. Two down for the Suns here in the fifth. Leaves things to Gilbert Lara to keep things alive. Lara, no hits yet. Forced to walk the bases loaded in the first. Earned an RBI in that scenario and grounded out his other time up in the third. Very open stance from the righty. The lefty Poulin offers the first pitch. That misses outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Lara slugging halfway to 1,000 at 500 coming into the evening. Has been one of the hotter bats for the Suns in the early part of the season. 1-0 finds the zone for strike one, won the count. Gilbert Lara. Lara spent last season in the Milwaukee Brewers system playing the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. 1-1, swung on by Lara, fouls it off towards the netting, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Poulin ahead of Lara. Lara acquired by the Nationals in the waiver trade. That sent Gio Gonzalez over to Milwaukee. 1-2, swung on by Lara and a grounder towards second base. Vavra has it, spinning to the left. Fires the first in time, and that will retire the side. Well struck ball to maintained on the ground, but nothing that Vavra couldn't handle, and the Suns are kept scoreless for the 4th straight inning, but still maintain a 5-1 lead as we head to the 6th. Suns lead by 4, 5-1 as we head to the 6th here. Stay tuned for more baseball on the Suns Radio Network.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
Whether you need business cards, banners, magnets, office stationery, or promo material, Panhandle Printing.
Entering the 6th inning of play here at Hub City. Ray Jensen here with you. It's a 5-1 lead for Hagerstown. Suns lead the Asheville Tourists 5-1 in the home opener of 2019. Not the first game, of course. We're already been a week in now in minor league play, but it's still opening day to us. Still real to us, darn it. It's 5-1. Suns in the lead is Carson Teal on the mound for another inning. He came in relief and finished the 5th inning for Jake Irvin, who went through 4 2/3. Allowed just 1 run in that time. Teal able to get Grant Levine looking at strike 3. It's in the top of the 5th. Duo for Asheville here in the 6th. It'll be the catcher Willie McIver. The shortstop Coco Montez will follow, followed by the center fielder and Daniel Montano. McIver steps in. RBI sac line, a base hit. First pitch misses his spot. Just not able to get all of it as he fouls it off third base side. 0-1 the count to start McIver. Teal turns and delivers the 0-1. Swung on and missed by McIver for strike 2, and it's now no balls, 2 strikes. Teal ahead early on McIver. Was ahead early in the 5th against Grant Levine, but a couple misses followed to make that at-bat interesting. It was a wild pitch that allowed Vavra to reach second. Teal delivers the 0-2. Check Swingman in the dirt, and they say, did he go? Yes, he did, but the ball went good behind Pineda. Throw to first, and they complete the strikeout 2-3. Not the easiest way to get this strikeout, but they get it done regardless. Pineda made a quick appeal to the home plate umpire tonight, and Matt Baldwin. And Baldwin said the appeal to Nastra over at first that he went around, but Pineda had to run for the ball. It's a heads-up defense by Pineda. One out, no one on for Coco Montez. Ground out and a walk so far tonight. Somewhat of a closed stance on the right side. Teal, the first offering, misses low for ball one. It's 1 ball, no strikes on Coco Montez. Teal, the lefty, will use both a 2 and a 4-seam fastball. It's the 1-0. Swung on and missed by Montez for strike one. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Can feature a changeup and slider as well in his repertoire. One swung on by Montez and fouled out of play first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Last pitch by Teal clocked in at 90 miles an hour. That was a pitch that Montez swung on and missed for strike one. Now count 1 and 2 after the foul ball to first base side. Teal delivers that 1-2, and it's fouled off at the plate by Montez. Got a piece of himself, but nothing that needs nursing. Count remains 1 and 2 for the Asheville shortstop. Teal steps, delivers the 1-2. That is outside for ball 2. 2 and 2 the count now for Montez. I mentioned earlier, Teal will attack the strike zone in the beginning, and then he started to drag behind a little bit. Count, though, even at 2 and 2 here. Next offering, swung on by Montez and a ground ball towards shortstop. Sanchez has it, long throw across his body. The first, and that is in time. A nice arcing throw, able to get Montez by a step. Sanchez, known for his defensive prowess, has struggled with some errors here and there so far in the early year, but that'll happen with younger players, but able to show the potential there of the arm for out number 2. Two outs, no one on now for Daniel Montano. First pitch from the lefty and lefty matchup misses low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Teal steps, hovers the 1-0. Foul tipped into the glove of Pineda for strike 1. It's now 1-1 on Montano. Montano 0 for 2. Called out on strikes in the second and flew out to center field. The 1-1. That misses low for ball 2, and it's now 2 balls and a strike for Montano. 2-1. It's Teal with his front towards home plate. Now turns and fires the 2-1. That misses outside and tad low for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike for Montano. Montano still looking for hit number 7. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Batting .250 coming into this evening's contest. 3-1. Swung on by Montano to first base and under the glove of the first baseman in KJ Harrison. Rolls to shallow right. Call that a hit for Montano. It's a 2-out base hit for the center fielder of Asheville. And it's 1 on, 2 outs for Asheville here in the 6th, bringing up John Cresto. Cresto got his first of the night in the 4th, a 2-out base hit to load the bases up with Tourists. Jake Irvin able to get out of that jam. 1 on, 2 out here as Teal, the first pitch, misses inside and gets away from the glove of Pineda. Running on the wild pitch. Pardon me, pass ball is Montano. Scored a pass ball on Pineda's part. That allows Daniel Montano to now be in scoring position. So runner in second. 2 outs and 1-0 the count for John Cresto. Teal looks the second. Ball in the glove, now fires the 1-0. That finds the zone for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cresto just a foot out of the batter's box as he re-enters and inherits the 1-1. Ready's the lumber behind the dark blue batting helmet. Teal obliges with Redding at the waist, back turn towards the home plate. The 1-1. Misses inside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Moves the count up for Cresto. Suns have a 4-run lead, 5-1 here in the 6th. But a runner in scoring position for Asheville, trying to break into that deficit. The 2-1. Swung on and fouled towards the backstop by Cresto, and evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2s all around, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second in the 6th. Teal resets. Ball in the left hand just above the knee as he looks for signs. Has it. A half-quarter turn delivery. The 2-2 called. Third strike in the inside part of the plate by Matt Baldwin, and that will retire the side. Base hit and pass ball out, run to the second, but nothing else for Asheville, and they are kept scoreless in the 6th. Heading to the bottom of the 6th, Suns look to add some more runs. They lead by 4, 5-1. More Suns baseball after this. Stay tuned on the Suns Radio Network.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
It's the late nights. It's the early mornings. It's working in the sunshine and rain and snow. It's the dedication, the care, the hours of training that led to the winner's circle. It's our job, our passion, our lives. We are the horsemen.
Whether you need business cards, banners, magnets, office stationery, or promo material, Panhandle Printing and Design can make it happen. Call 304.
Here at Historic Municipal Stadium, Ray Jensen here with you. As it's a 5-1 lead still for the Hagerstown Suns over the Asheville Tourists, but the Suns have been held quiet ever since the first. Want to see some more crooked numbers on the board to add some insurance here in this home opener of 2019. That would be nice to add on to a 4-run lead. Due up for the Suns here in the 6th. First baseman KJ Harrison, followed by the designated hitter Pablo O'Connor, and then second baseman Kyle Marincones to round out the 3 due up for Hub City. EJ Poulin still on the mound for the Asheville Tourists after taking over Shelby Lackey. Lackey went the first 4 innings for the Tourists and gave up the 5 runs in the first. KJ Harrison is ready to face the lefty Poulin. Set down the Suns in order 1-2-3 last frame. First pitch swung on by Harrison, and that's a base hit to right field, as Harrison will track towards first and settle for that. A leadoff single to start the Suns here in the 6th inning. It'd be hard to find a more consistent bat than KJ Harrison so far in the early goings in the South Atlantic League. He has 2 hits now tonight, including the 2-run double he collected in the first inning. Now the leadoff single in the 6th. So a runner aboard of the first at-bat for the Suns here in the 6th. Harrison at first, no one out for Pablo O'Connor. Collected a hit of his own in the 4th. Poulin readies. First pitch, catches the inside of the plate for strike 1. 0-1 the count, start O'Connor. O'Connor for a base hit and an RBI, collected the RBI and a ground out in the first. Poulin ready at the waist as he stares at first. And Harrison now kicks and fires the 0-1. That'll miss outside, and a tad high for a ball. It's 1-1 the count on Pablo O'Connor. Poulin, a long look at first of Harrison. Now delivers the 1-1 finally. O'Connor swings on it, but fouls at third base side out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes for the Suns DH. Spent last season, short season Auburn. Spent the first 10 games of his minor league career at the GCL Nationals, however. O'Connor, a 27th round draft pick in last season's MLB amateur draft. One, 2 the count for the DH here. A couple strides from first is KJ Harrison. The 1-2 looked like he was going to follow through the delivery was Poulin, but instead elects to go to first. Harrison back in plenty of time. Always got to be on your toes at first. With a lefty on the mound, of course, a much easier throwing arc over to the first base bag compared to a righty. Poulin steps and fires the 1-2. That's outside and high for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now for Pablo O'Connor. O'Connor readies at the slightly open stance. As Poulin steps off the rubber and looks at Harrison at first. Now it backs on the left side. 2-2 the count. He's ready from the waist. Kicks and deals. Swung on and missed by O'Connor. He's down on strikes for out number 1. O'Connor not able to follow through and get contact on that swing. He's under it. For strike 3 and out number 1. 1 out, 1 on for the Suns, and brings up Kyle Marincones, who has reached safely twice tonight. In the first on RBI double, and then reached in the fourth on an error from the shortstop and Coco Montez. Marincones a slightly close stance from left side, takes a healthy hack at the first offering from Poulin, but fouls at third base side just in front of the half wall. No balls, 1 strike to start Marincones. Marincones a nice series against Lakewood, 3 for 7, 3 runs scored, and worked 2 walks. The 0-1 swung on by Marincones, and a fly ball towards left field, and that will drop for a hit. Rounding second and heading towards third is KJ Harrison. He will get the green light from the third base coach, and he will head towards home safely. It's an RBI double for Kyle Marincones, and there's the insurance we wanted. It's another extra base hit for Kyle Marincones. Two doubles on the night. The Suns' second baseman, it now gives Hagerstown a lead of a handful. 6-1 the score now in favor of Hagerstown in the bottom of the 6th. So now runner in scoring position with Marincones following the double, and Jose Sanchez up for the 3rd time. 0 for 2 of 2 strikeouts for the first offering to be delivered. Time is called. Sanchez will take a spell. Certainly has cooled off a spell with the sun fully set now here in Hagerstown, Maryland. Poulin looks at second, now fires the first offering. Swung on and missed by Sanchez for strike 1. 0-1 the count to start the shortstop. Sanchez has already shown off his arm to the home crowd here tonight. Now see if he can equally display his prowess at the plate. 0-1 as Poulin looks to second. and Marincones a couple of times, and now steps and fires the 0-1. Another healthy hack and a miss by Sanchez for strike 2. It's 0-2 the count now for the Suns shortstop. Suns looking to hold on to a lead and get win number 3 of the year. Start to climb out of the lower half of the South Atlantic League North Division. Poulin looks to second, now fires the 0-2. That'll go upstairs for a ball. It's 1-2 the count on Jose Sanchez. Sanchez. Sanchez coming in batting .235 as the wind almost took my paper out here. Someone almost got a free tourist roster. I thank my computer for the assist. Meanwhile, it's 1-2 on Sanchez. So the open stance from the shortstop is Poulin now obliges with the offering. The 1-2 swung on, and Poulin knocks it down in front, scrambles to get the ball, finds it, throws the first in time for out number 2. Got to give kudos to Poulin to keep his head about him. He could have chance to throw a third if he really wanted to. He was looking that way trying to find the ball when it was really to his left, but made the smart play and threw the first for out number 2. But the runner does advance, and Marincones from second to third, so the 7th run of the Suns' evening just 90 feet away as we get back to the top of the order, and Cody Wilson. Wilson 0 for 3 on the night. Ground out, strikeout, and a fielder's choice. First offering misses slightly upstairs for a ball, 1-0 the count. Wilson leading out of the way. One of the count for Wilson. Swings the bat around in front. Now Reddy's behind the bright red batting helmet. The 1-0 from Poulin. Dip low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes the count. It's been an eventful evening, and I'm not just talking about the play on the field, especially in favor of the Suns. It's part of some between inning festivities here in the home opener. It's part of the mascot race earlier this evening. I won because his mama didn't raise a loser. The 2-0 swung on by Wilson, and clean off the glove of Poulin and tracks towards second base, and Vauber trying to slide on it, but not a play to be made. See if they call it a base hit or not, but meanwhile, Poulin, that was a scary play for him, as he had to get that ball screaming towards his face and get out of the way in a hurry, and that can rattle anybody, let alone a pitcher.
Yeah, Ray, that's definitely going to be scored a base hit there. Certainly no error of the pitcher. If anything, it's getting the glove up on there that's big for him, and now they're going to check him out, just make sure everything's okay. He did sit down on the mound for a moment, but quickly regained composure, stood back up. I think one very good sign here is McIver quickly jogs back behind the dish, so they're going to let him throw a little bit.
Yeah, very encouraging sign as he'll throw a couple pitches towards McIver, and being checked out by the athletic training staff of the Asheville Tourists as well as the coaching staff. Especially this early in the minor league season, you don't want to risk any injuries and leave your guy out there on an island when he could be reined back in at a more opportune time.
I know a lot of people listening might be thinking, hey, this guy's already thrown 1 2/3 innings. Isn't the pen already warming someone up? In minor league baseball, particularly at this level, it doesn't work that way. You're trying to throw 3, maybe 4 innings from your reliever. It's almost like a secondary starter.
Yeah, you kind of want your bullpen to try to piggyback on your starter as much as possible to prevent any fatigue from the pitching staff in general. Poulin's all checked out and is okay to resume play. It's an RBI base hit, I should mention, on the knock from Wilson that went towards Poulin. It's 7-1 in favor of Hagerstown. Wilson at first, now Gage Canning at the plate for the 4th time this evening. For the first offering towards the plate from Poulin to Canning. Checks in at first of Wilson, who's back in time. So amidst all the concern for us towards Poulin, we almost forgot the Suns' run. But we're not gloaters. We're going to make sure our opponent's health is put first, of course. 7-1 the score in favor of Hagerstown. Now the first offering to Canning. Swung on and missed, but going on the pitch is Wilson. He slides in feet first to a stolen base, and then he will get third on the errant throw from MacIver.
And that free pass stolen base brought to you by Jimmy John's Gourmet Sandwiches.
It will be recorded as a stolen base for Wilson and an error on MacIver on the throw that allows Wilson to reach third base. Just like that, on a heads-up base running play from Wilson and an errant throw from MacIver. Suns have run number 8 at third base, possible. Pitch was a strike that Wilson ran on. 0-1 the count, 2 outs for Canning. Poulin steps, fires the 0-1, swung on by Canning and missed for strike 2. 0-2, Poulin quickly ahead of Canning in this lefty-on-lefty matchup. Poulin, loving to the chin, lowers, now fires the 0-2. Catches the outside edge according to Matt Baldwin. Called out on strikes as Canning, and that will retire the side, but not till the Suns tack on 2 more runs of insurance, and they lead 7-1 as we enter the 7th frame. We'll take a break and come back with more Suns baseball after this. Listen to Hagerstown Suns on the Suns Radio Network.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families like yours for generations, since 1880. Whether you want to plan ahead or you need us now. Our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown Ranson. We're here when you need us.
Life can get in the way these days. We all know that. Work commitments, social commitments, volunteer commitments, family commitments. You put your heart into all of it. You've got enough to worry about already. Your roof shouldn't be one of those things. Everything should just work. But when your roof is in need of an upgrade, you shouldn't have to worry about that either. Modern Renovations, your 4-state roofing solution. Reminding you that home is where the heart really is.
The level of care that I got at WVU Medicine was top-notch.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
Is really an integration, looking at a clinical care network, looking at the good people who can help push the envelope and raise the bar for delivering a quality healthcare product.
To have my life back is absolutely a blessing. I'm beyond thankful.
Hey fans, welcome back to Municipal Stadium. Hagerstown Suns leading 7-1 over the Asheville Tourists, top of the 7th inning here. Hagerstown adding 2 more runs in the bottom of the 6th inning after a 5 spot in the bottom of the 1st was the last time either team had scored. In the top of the 1st inning, Asheville added 1 run. They've been held scoreless ever since, first by Jake Irvin, who offered 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and recently by the lefty Carson Teal. Tealson throws, that's going to be driven deep to center field. Heading back is Wilson to the track. He makes the grab. And that'll retire Jipping, the first batter. He'll go to 0-3 on the night. They'll bring up Kyle Datris. Datris flew out to left field in the 2nd inning. He also grounded out to 3rd base. That came in the 4th frame. And Teal, a lefty who's going to see a lot of use in this bullpen. You have 3 lefties. It's not quite the 1-out situation. The pitch, fastball, called strike on the edge. It's not like Major League where you see a lot of 1-out lefties to face another lefty and then you send it to another righty in the pen. You're going to get 2-3 innings. 0-1, swung on and missed, counts now 0-2. I think this is where you really see a lot of development in relievers because they're forced to be very efficient, and they're also forced to go a little bit longer than they're used to. This is what gets you to a spot start. 0-2, swung on and missed, and Teal gets him to go down. That's 2 outs very quickly here in the top of the 7th. Hagerstown still up. 7-1's the score. Looking over at the hits and errors columns, Asheville has 5 hits compared to Hagerstown's 8. Meanwhile, Asheville has committed 2 errors, and the Suns have committed just 1. It's now time for the top of the order. Golson up, 0 for 3 on the day. First pitch to Golson, fastball outside, counts 1-0. He's flown out to right twice, and then he struck out swinging. Got a little hockey assist for Pineda. A 2-3 on the end of that strikeout on the drop third pitch. The pitch, low and inside. Teal, after blazing through the first 2 batters, throws 2 balls to lead off his third batter. 2 away still. Teal's thrown 31 pitches so far, 20 for strikes, and he has quite an interesting stat attached to him. Pitch low and away. Counts now 3-0. Despite having a 0.00 earned run average, he's lost a game. Actually, him and Tim Cate, after their first appearances, had a 0.00 ERA, but had lost games. 3-0, right down the pipe. That's called strike 1. For Teal, it came because in the 10th inning against Greensboro, the extra inning runner ended up scoring. That's the runner that starts at second base to begin each extra inning game. 3-1, that's going to be driven to left center field. Canning on his way, Wilson on his way. Wilson underneath it, makes the grab. He had about 5 feet till the end of the track, and man, he made it look easy to run that down. Wilson's got some speed. It's a 1-2-3, top of the 7th, and guess what? It's stretch time now on the Hagerstown Suns Network.
The level of care that I got at WVU Medicine was top-notch.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
Is really an integration, looking at a clinical care network, looking at the good people who can help push the envelope and raise the bar for delivering a quality healthcare product.
To have my life back is absolutely a blessing. I'm beyond thankful for WVU Medicine. I absolutely 100% have my life back.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
Hello and welcome back to Municipal Stadium, home half of the 7th, just after stretch time. Hagerstown leading 7-1 over the Asheville Tourists. That's not all that's going on in the South Atlantic League, though. Let's take a glance around the scoreboard here in the South Atlantic League. The Rome Braves are leading Greenville after 5 innings, 1-0 in Rome, Georgia. It would be Rome's 2nd win of the year if they're able to hold on. Hickory's tagged Kannapolis for 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th. They're trying to improve to 7-1 on the year. Pineda stepping up to the dish here in our game at Municipal Stadium. He'll be his 4th bat, first pitch, just outside, ball 1. He's 1 for 3, came around and scored after hitting a single in the first, but he's struck out twice since then. Looking back to the scoreboard, Charleston and Greensboro are knotted up in the middle of the 3rd, still 0-0. Columbia added 1 run, but they still trail 6-2 to Lexington. Pitch just on the outside corner, called strike. Lakewood and Delmarva are at it. Delmarva leading 3-0, and they've got a chance to add on more. Runners on the corners, no one out in the bottom of the 4th. Poulin readies, throws home. That swung on and missed. Pineda going out of his shoes to try and get that one. There's one more matchup in the South Atlantic League, and it's Augusta and West Virginia. West Virginia leading 1-0 in the home half of the 5th. Looking around the Nationals affiliate system, one game's already finished. It's between Fresno and Salt Lake. The pitch swung on and fouled right back into the netting. And that game finished with Salt Lake winning 5-4. Jimmy Cordero ends up getting the loss as his first of the year. Taylor Cole gets the save, and Jeremy Rhodes will get the win for Salt Lake. Harrisburg's playing Bowie. The Senators leading 2-0 on the Bay Sox. The pitch in the dirt. Counts evened up 2-2 now. Still no one out. Pineda at the dish. Finally, Potomac is playing Winston-Salem. Dash leading 5-4. You might recognize the name Andrew Lee. Played for the Suns last year. He's currently on the mound for the Potomac Nationals. Pineda readying for the 2-2 offering. Kicking the throw. Fastball just outside. Home plate umpire Baldwin had to think about it for a second, but once he made up his mind, the count became full. 3-2 to Pineda. Infield all deep. Pulling, glove, level with the chest. Brings it down, belt high. Here's the kick, swung on and missed. Pineda made it a long at-bat, but the result's the same. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Pineda. I'll bring up Jacob Rhinesmith. Rhinesmith walked in the first, but he's 0 for 2 on the night. Flew out to center field and grounded out to second base in his 2 opportunities leading up to this point. Both Pineda and Rhinesmith, 2 players whose stats may not show it, but they got a lot of pop to their bat. You can watch them in batting practice. You can look at their tape from Auburn last year. Both these guys have strong bats. They'll develop. The pitch, fastball, knee high, called strike 1. Pineda, the favorite to become the best Nationals catcher to come out of their farm in a very long time. If you think of good Nationals catchers recently, or even look at their roster today, Yan Gomes, Kurt Suzuki, the pitch is going to be blooped foul on the third base side, and that gets out of play. Both those came in trades or through free agency, and that's the way the Nationals have done it for a very long time. It's almost been 20 years since the last Nationals prospect who was a catcher stuck around to play in Washington and made a big impact for a long period of time. Pineda has a chance to be exactly that for Washington. Just 18 years old. But now giving way to Rhinesmith, who's had a sluggish start to the year. 0-2 offering, and that paints the corner. Strike 3, punches him out back-to-back to start off the home half of the 7th. They'll bring up Gilbert Lara. Lara also 0 for 2, and guess what? He got that free pass from Lackey in the first inning. He walked and scored, but 2 consecutive groundouts to second base have summed up the rest of Lara's night. Righty has a very open stance, uses it to get more plate coverage late in pitches. The pitch, waved at and missed, counts 0-1. He went fishing for some in the dirt, wasn't able to catch anything. 2 away here, Suns lead, 7-1's the score over the Tourists. Lara waving the baton, waiting for the pitch. Here it is. Bounces in. This time he holds up, and now the count's even. 1-1, 2 away. Lara, another guy who really could have huge upside. You look at his statistics prior to this year, because this year his statistics are great. Leads the team in RBI and home runs, but prior to this year he had trouble batting 200. That was just a result of him being young and in a high level, 1-1 up and in. Now the count's 2-1. He really has a chance to shine, along with KJ Harrison, who, as we've mentioned, was acquired in the Gio Gonzalez trade on August 31st. Poulin throws home, waved at and missed. Counts now 2-2, 2 outs. Lara doesn't mess around. He swings very hard every time, and he's always trying to drive the ball. It's been successful so far, but that type of long swing can run through streaks and slumps. The kick and the pitch, swung on, line foul. Count remains the same with 2 outs. Blackie's night ended, and it wasn't a bad night after what you saw in the first inning. He ended up eating up quite a few innings. He pitched 4 innings, allowed 5 runs, all earned. Remember, all 5 of those runs were in the first inning. 5 strikeouts for him on the night, too. 2-2 pitch, that's swung on and driven to shallow left field. Coming on in is Golson, and he makes the grab as he trots towards the line. That's out number 3. Heading into the 8th, Hagerstown has a 6-run lead. You're listening to the Hagerstown Suns Baseball Network.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families like yours for generations, since 1880. Whether you want to plan ahead or you need us now. Our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
Life can get in the way these days. We all know that. Work commitments, social commitments, volunteer commitments, family commitments. You put your heart into all of it. You've got enough to worry about already. Your roof shouldn't be one of those things. Everything should just work. But when your roof is in need of an upgrade, you shouldn't have to worry about that either. Modern Renovations, your 4-state roofing solution. Reminding you that home is where the heart really is.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
His second straight outing where he's made a big impact for the Suns. We were talking a little bit earlier about his last outing where he got the loss despite not giving up an earned run, and that's because he ended up giving up a run on an inherited runner. But tonight so far, 2 1/3 innings, just 1 hit and 4 strikeouts. Certainly nothing to shirk about. Vava gonna lead off the inning. Second baseman bats left-handed. Here's the pitch. Ball low. Vava doubled in the first. He came around and scored the only run that the Tourists have had so far tonight. He walked in the 5th. He's also flown out to center field. 1-0. That's going to be a high fly ball that goes foul and out of play. Counts 1-1. It's exactly what Teal was looking for. He handcuffed the second baseman, was able to fend it off and get it out of play. There's an arm stretching and tossing in the bullpen. Tall righty. One offering. That's going to be called a ball, low and inside. Tonight's attendance has officially been announced. Box office closes around the 7th inning every single night. It's 1,228. The pitch. High fly ball goes back and just to the left of the press box. Counts now even up 2-2. So a nice warm attendance for the Hagerstown Suns to open up the season. 1,228 once again. Lefty settles back in. The pitch is called strike 3 on the outside corner, and it wasn't even called yet. Vava knew he was going down the second he saw it. He just froze up at that ball, painting the edge of the zone. It brings up Grant Levine. Levine, 1 for 3, singled, moved to second on an error in the first. Never advanced home, though. Lined out. And that was right back up the gut at Irvin. He had that miraculous catch where he was probably just trying to fend the ball away from him. The pitch is going to be bounced slowly down the first baseline. And then finally he struck out. That was looking in the 5th. He's behind 0-1 here, 1 out. And Hagerstown's got a big lead, 7-1. They've won 2 games this year. What's interesting about it is they've only won 1-run games. Today they get the chance to change that just 5 outs away. 0-1 pitch, swung on, lined right back to the backstop. Counts now 0-2, 1 away. And Teal's probably looking at about 50 pitches. That's probably where his goal is, somewhere between 50 and 60. And if he sits down with more than 45, he won't come out. 0-2, just a bit outside, now counts 1-2. Teal gets the call from Pineda, who lines up outside. Here's the pitch, line towards short. The jump, not there. Over the head of Sanchez and into left field for a single. Sanchez thought he could time it up. He got close, but no cigar on this one. 1 out, and there's a base runner. Just the second hit allowed by Teal thus far today. It brings up Willie McIver. McIver, 1 for 2, single, strikeout. He also had the sacrifice fly that plated Vavra. And then resulted in the error that moved Levine to second. So runner on. Remember, lefty pitcher will keep him close at first. First pitch is called ball low. Pineda framed it for a moment. He was trying to get a more favorable call. Teal working from the stretch. Looking at first at Levine, throws home. That one's low. Pineda scoops it up though, asks for a new ball. Counts 2-0. Now if you're the reliever in this situation, yeah, giving this run up would be the first run that you give up this season. But you've got some breathing room. There's no need to throw unnecessary pressure on yourself. You can let the hitter put the ball in play and trust your defense in this scenario. You're playing with a 6-run lead. 2-0 offering, swung on and missed. Blew the fastball by him. Counts now 2-1, 1 away. Asheville's bullpen remaining quiet. Only had to call 1 arm. Actually, as I say it, someone starts stretching and tossing. Isn't that the way it works sometimes? So maybe bringing out another arm for the home half of the 8th. Pitch just low. Counts 3-1 with 1 out. Was indeed a beautiful night for baseball. First pitch temperature 59 degrees. It's certainly gotten a bit cooler as the nights progressed, and there's a stiff breeze going in from right field coming towards home plate. Here's the 3-1. That's lined hard towards left field. Canning's on his horse, but it's going to be a one-hopper off the wall. Canning into the corner. Runner is being waved home from third. The throw to the cutoff man's going to ensure that the run does score, and McIver gets himself a double. It plates Levine. The score, 7-2. That's still in favor of your Hagerstown Suns. They've got room to play with. Coco Montez will be the next batter. 0 for 2 so far today, a pair of groundouts and a walk. And that is not Mac Jenkins walking out. Instead, that's Patrick Anderson, which can only mean one thing. The game ball is going to get handed from Teal, and it does. So we'll take a quick commercial break for the call to the bullpen. You're listening to the Suns Baseball Network.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Welcome to La Bella Vita, named for my Grandma Vita. Our mountaintop getaway honors her legacy while complementing the home's spectacular views. This recently renovated property boasts a breathtaking landscape of Deep Creek Lake while providing great open interior spaces for a sensational vacation. You'll immediately notice the great room allows for entertaining, dining, and relaxing after long days on the lake or skiing on the slopes of Wisp. Your family and friends will enjoy relaxing in all the open spaces. The home features 6 bedrooms, including 4 that are private suites. And each of the 4 levels of this home feature amazing visibility as far as the eye can see. Like our family, we hope you enjoy making memories here on the mountain. We love sharing the spacious, warm, and inviting home that overlooks the lake. Cheers to the beautiful life, La Bella Vita.
He allowed 3 hits and right now 1 run with 5 strikeouts to no walks. But now it brings up Herman. Herman, a physically imposing figure, right-hander, 6'4", and 215 pounds out of the Dominican Republic. Montez, the first batter he'll face, he throws gas on the outside corner for strike 1. Herman's pitched in 2 games thus far, April 6th and April 9th. April 6th, he pitched 2 innings, didn't allow a hit, walked 1 and struck out 3. Next pitch, waved at and missed, counts now 0-2. So certainly not a bad outing. 42 pitches for him on the year. He threw 10 strikes out of 21 pitches in his last outing. The pitch, fastball up and away. Counts now 2-2. So Herman will stare down the batter once again. Runner on second, Suns leading by 5. 1-2 offering, check swing, and he didn't want to go, but he ended up going. That's strikeout number 2. Coco Montez goes down. He tried to hold up, but went all the way around. He'll bring up Montano. Montano, 1 for 3, a single in his most recent at-bat. So lefty stepping in against the righty, 2 away. Runner on second. We'll see if Herman can strand him. First pitch called strike. Herman throws fastball, slider, changeup, sinker. We've seen quite a bit of the fastball so far tonight. 0-1, there's another one low and inside. He has 1 save so far. This would not be a save opportunity. Suns leading by 5, and the inherited runner would only put the deficit to 4. Next pitch, a high fly ball that goes out of play behind home plate. With that being said, Herman, 1-1 the Suns are in games that he has relieved in. Last one was a loss. Suns only have 1 pitcher who has pitched in both wins, and that's Fletcher, who earned the save last night. Ron looks back at second, throws home. Fastball called strike 3. That'll do it here in the 8th inning. Suns lead 7-2, looking to take it on home into the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to the Suns Baseball Network.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
He literally saved my life. It's just mind-boggling to me that he was able to do what he did.
We're able to affect much more of a difference for our patients with these resources.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
They treat you great, and they're down to earth in the West Virginia way that all West Virginians treat each other.
Whether you need business cards, banners, magnets, office stationery, or promo material, Panhandle Printing and Design can make it happen. Call 304-267-7400 for a quote, or visit us on the web at panhandleprintdesign.com.
Mike Nicorak coming on out, and he's going to make yet another appearance for the Asheville Tourists. 32.4 ERA in 3 appearances so far this year, and not one of them has gone according to plan until April 9th. April 4th, he went 2/3 of an inning, allowed 3 earned runs, and walked 4. April 7th, he failed to record an out, allowed 4 runs, 3 of which were earned off of 2 hits, and finally April 9th, he had a perfect frame, throwing only 7 pitches, 4 for strikes, allowing no one to reach on him. If you look at his career, it's a little bit better. 1-4, 7.1 ERA in 27 games. He's a reformed starter. He started 17 games throughout his career, pitching 57 innings, allowing 45 earned runs. Opponents are still hitting over 300 against Nicorak, though. Nicorak, the first-round pick of the Rockies in 2015, the first-round pick of 2016 is also on this roster. Not often that you see members of either of those 2 draft classes here in the South Atlantic League, but both coming for different reasons. Nicorak coming because he moved from being a starter to coming back down and trying to come up as a reliever. Riley Pint is the 2016 first-round draft pick I'm referring to, and he's actually gone through a couple of surgeries, had a couple of arm injuries, and made his first start since then last week. Saturday he'll get to start as well. Going to Nicorak's physical stats, he's right-handed, 6'5", 240 pounds, coming out of Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. He's 22 years old, born in '96. KJ Harrison coming up, 2 for 3 on the night. First pitch to him, fastball just low. You can see why Nicorak was a first-round draft pick. Projectable frame, certainly athletic. And that fastball whips right in there. Harrison behind in the count, 1-0. Nicorak nods, throws home. That one just low again. Counts 2-0. Hagerstown leading 7-2 the score. They're out hitting a little bit closer with the Tourists. 8 hits for Hagerstown, 7 for Asheville. Meanwhile, Asheville has committed 2 errors. The pitch, just low again. Counts 3-0 very quickly. Nicorak not showing a good sign for the strike zone. And, by the way, he's whipping those in there at 96 miles per hour. A sight you don't see too often in the South Atlantic League. 3-0 offering, fastball right down the pipe, called strike 1. And Harrison just has to nod and look at that. 3 pitches, not close, not really able to get him up in the strike zone at all. And you look at one, that's right down the middle. Now you know you can swing. Here it comes. Swung on and missed. This time, Harrison right over the top of that one, and the count's full. One thing Nicorak's going to be working on for much of his career in the minors is you got to rebound from those 3-0 starts. You got to rebound from first pitch balls. Mental toughness is so important at this level. Payoff pitch. Fastball inside. Harrison almost let it hit him to prove a point. That was ball 4. Harrison reaches base for the 3rd time today. A 2-run double in the first, a single that later allowed him to score in the 6th, and now Pablo O'Connor's coming up. He's got an RBI tonight in an 0-for-1 effort. First pitch, just a bit outside, counts now 1-0. O'Connor settles back in. Harrison taking a 3-step lead at first. With a 5-run lead, probably not going to steal. Here's the pitch, waved at and missed. Counts 1-1. Infield set up in double play depth. Harrison likes to say he's fleet of foot. We haven't seen him too active on the base pass yet. Here's the pitch. low and outside. Backhanded by McIver, though, after it bounced in the dirt. Counts 2-1. Still no one out. Working from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Fastball fouled right back. That one goes out of play. That one actually went over towards the perch with the camera. Matt Matter out there. Funny thing, we told him you might want to bring a glove because foul balls come screaming up there. They got a glove, so they're prepared. 2-2. That's swung on, driven deep to right field. O'Connor sends Cresto back to the track, and he drops the ball on it. So they're saying it's a drop. Harrison keeps running. He's chugging around second. He's into third. That's certainly an error in right field. So Cresto on that track, it's not the typical warning track material. This one's more of a gravel. It looked like he slipped a little bit on the gravel. That caused him to take his eye off the ball. And O'Connor reaches safely on an E9 that sends Harrison all the way to third base. You don't see that every day. Then again, it's not opening night, or the home opener, I should say, every day. That's error number 3 for the Tourists. Twice on the last road trip. Here's the pitch. Called strike at the knees. Twice on the last road trip, the Hagerstown Suns saw an opponent have 4 errors on the board. Early on in single-A ball, you'll see quite a few of those. Got to get the reps in. 0-1 pitch. That's a ball in between the spigots of McIver. O'Connor advances to second. Harrison lost track of the ball. They're going to call it a wild pitch. So Harrison lost track of the ball. He certainly wasn't going to try and go home until he saw it. And especially with the way that the ball sometimes bounces off the padding on the backstop here in Hagerstown, you don't want to be too aggressive trying to go home. There are runners on second and third. There's no one out. No need to try and force that run in when you have a 5-run lead. The pitch, that's driven towards right. This time, Cresto gets over there in time, but Harrison able to come in on the score. So a sacrifice fly. Marincones ends up getting this run in, and now Hagerstown leads the score 8-2. O'Connor had to stay at second there. But Marincones gets his 3rd RBI of the game. He had an RBI double in the 6th and an RBI double in the 1st. It brings up Jose Sanchez. Sanchez 0 for 3 on the night. He's actually the only batter tonight for the Suns who has not reached safely. The pitch, that's going to be driven towards right center, and it bounces in. The run is being held up at third, but it's a single for Sanchez. He must have heard me up here in the booth. Runners on the corners, and now each member of the Hagerstown Suns has reached base safely at least once tonight. Cody Wilson stepping up. He had a single in the 6th. He reached safely on a fielder's choice in the 4th. He grounded out and struck out in the 1st and 2nd, respectively. Nicarac has now offered 15 pitches in a third of the inning. Pitch bounces in, counts now 1-0. His ERA is still pretty similar to what it was, 31.5. There's a run at third. A fly ball would score that run. It's the most runs Hagerstown has scored in a game in quite some time. That pitch on the inside corner called strike. And of course we say that relatively because we've only been playing for a week. But Hagerstown scored 8 runs on opening night. The pitch, breaking ball outside, counts now 2-1. They've tied that mark of 8 runs, and the most runs they've scored just 90 feet away. 2-1, swung on and missed, counts now 2-2. Still just 1 out here. Bottom of the 8th inning. Hagerstown scoring in their 3rd frame They scored 5 in the first to make up most of this damage. The pitch swung on and missed. That'll set down Wilson. It'll bring up Gage Canning. Canning 1 for 4. He singled and scored in the first. He's got a pair of strikeouts. He also lined out to first base on a hard hit ball in the second. 2 away. That elusive 9th run just 90 feet away. Runner on first as well. Here's the pitch. Fastball called strike. Remember, Nickrack came into this game with an ERA over 30, excuse me. His ERA before that last out was over 32. Now it's at 27 even. Here's the pitch. Swung on. That's blooped down the third baseline, but it goes foul. But that's just a way to kind of illustrate it's early in the season. You see an ERA like that, it's not necessarily the end-all be-it, hey, he's going to have a high ERA all year. He's got plenty of time to lower that ERA and get it back to a normal level. He's at 0-2 in the count, 2 away, steps off the rubber. And now we'll get back on. He's working from the first base side. Ready, kicks and throws, fastball inside. Counts 1-2. Hard pitch to take if you're Gage Canning. Down 0-2, you've struck out in your last 2 at-bats. Might make you a little antsy at the plate. A good eye from the young prospect. 1-2 offering, ball low in the dirt. Now the count's evened up at 2-2. Canning, of course, one of the top prospects here with the Hagerstown Suns. According to MLB.com, he's the Washington Nationals' 10th best prospect. You have 7 such prospects in the top 30 on this roster, as ranked both by Baseball America and MLB.com. 2-2 pitch, swung on, it's lined back, out of play. Still 2-2 here. You'll get to see Tim Cate probably against the Lexington Legends. He's the 6th-ranked prospect. The backstop, Pineda is the 8th-ranked prospect. Next pitch ups, the count's full. Canning does a great job in working back into this count. Remember, he was behind 0-2, and it's really hard to watch a lot of those go by and play defense when you're young and when you've gotten 2 straight strikeouts in your first home game. Payoff pitch, runner goes, waved at, missed. He chased the high cheddar, and that'll end the 8th inning. We're headed to the 9th. Hagerstown needs 2 outs to defend a 6-run lead. They're up 8-2, and you're listening to the Hagerstown Suns Baseball Network.
It's the late nights. It's the early mornings. It's working in the sunshine and rain and snow. It's the dedication, the care, the hours of training that led to the winner's circle. It's our job, our passion, our lives. We are the Horsemen.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
Prepare for what's next or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
Sizzle from him. Remember, he also has a slider and a changeup that he can work in with those. The 6'4" righty certainly looked good in his first half inning at home, and this will be his 3rd outing of the year. He pitched 1 inning against the Blue Claws, 2 against the Greensboro Grasshoppers. when you're looking at what Hagerstown accomplished today, it all has to start in that first inning and the patience that they showed at the plate. Hagerstown scored 5 runs in the first, and the first run that was scored actually ended up coming off of a walk. Gilbert Lara had a bases-loaded walk, and then that set it up for K.J. Harrison, who then cleared the bases with a double. Pablo O'Connor had a ground out that scored another run, and then Kyle Marincones ended up doubling in another run. But you look at those types of little things, and a 5-1 start because Hagerstown actually surrendered the first run to Willie McIver. He had a sacrifice fly to score Vavra, who ended up hitting a double with 1 out in the first. Set Asheville up for success. Hagerstown really hasn't scored more than 3-4 runs in a majority of their games. Cresto coming up to the plate. The right fielder had an error in the last inning. The pitch called strike on the inside edge, counts 0-1. Really extended the inning there, third error of the game for Asheville. Herman kicks and throws, breaking ball just low, counts 1-1. Hagerstown's got 9 hits, Asheville 7. So Hagerstown, an opportunity to out-hit an opponent with just 3 more outs remaining. 1-1, it's going to be a 2-bouncer, backhanded by Sanchez, throws to first on time, and that's out number 1. After the 6-3 ground out, Jipping heads up. It was 7, 8, and 9 due up to begin this inning. Jipping, 0 for 3 on the day. 2 flyouts, 1 to right, 1 to center, as well as a strikeout looking. Herman ready. The pitch. Fastball, check, swing. Did he go? No, he didn't, says the base path umpire, Nasty. I'm not saying it's a nasty call. It's the man's last name. Counts now 1-0. The pitch. It's going to be fouled off. Hits the backstop. Counts now evened up. Thus far this season, again, Hagerstown has scored 8, but they were 0-1. They gave up 9 runs in that game. 1-1, swung on and missed. Herman takes a little bit off of it, now it's 1-2. But what Hagerstown has not done much is out-hit opponents. This will be the 4th game, if this holds true, that they out-hit opponents. They're 2-1 in the 3 games prior. 1-2 offering just low, counts evened up. And if you were to pick any team in the entire league right now and say, hey, Hagerstown's going to out-hit this team, I certainly wouldn't have picked Asheville. Maybe get involved in a shootout, but not out-hit. 2-2, that's going to be bounced towards third. Gloved by Lara. He throws across the channel. Got him. That's out number 2. We're 1 out away, fans. And now it's time for Kyle Datris. Datris, much like Jipping, has not had much success at the plate thus far tonight. He's flown out to left, he's grounded to third, and he has struck out swinging. Infield backs up. Everyone's deep on the infield. Outfield, normal depth, slightly shaded to left. Herman lowers the glove, throws home, and that's popped up on the infield. Sanchez steps back a couple of feet onto the grass. He's under it, makes the grab. There it is. Your Suns win their first home game of 2019. The final score, 8-2. Hagerstown gets 9 hits, Asheville 7. Asheville recorded 3 errors. Meanwhile, Hagerstown 1. The Tourists fall to 4-4 on the year. Meanwhile, the Suns improve to 6-2. And again, they'll be back at it tomorrow at 6:05 to continue the 4-game set. Coming up next, Ray Jensen's going to be live with the post-game show. You won't want to miss his expert analysis on the Hagerstown Suns Baseball Network.
Life can get in the way these days. We all know that. Work commitments, social commitments, volunteer commitments, family commitments. You put your heart into all of it. You've got enough to worry about already. Your roof shouldn't be one of those things. Everything should just work. But when your roof is in need of an upgrade, you shouldn't have to worry about that either. Modern Renovations, your 4-state roofing solution. Reminding you that home is where the heart really is.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Historic Municipal Stadium as we're into the post-game show here, as it's a Suns win. Your Suns defeat the Asheville Tourists 8-2 in the home opener of the 2019 season. Hello, Ray Jensen here with you in the post-game show. It was a fun one from the home opener, and the Hagerstown faithful got to be sent home happy, and the Hagerstown Suns took no time to really get the board going of crooked numbers, even though Asheville did strike first in this one in the first inning after Taryn Vavra hit a one-out double. Hit the second base. Grant Levine followed with a single, and then as Vavra went to third base on the single, Willie McIver, the catcher, brought in the first run of the evening with a sac fly to left field to make it 1-0 Asheville after just half a frame. And then we went to the bottom of the first, and the Suns had a huge response of a 5-run, 4-hit first inning. It all got started with Gage Canning and Israel Pineda hitting back-to-back singles for runners at first and second. Then Jacob Rhinesmith worked a walk to make the bases full of Suns. And Gilbert Lara, even while he's been known for his power in the early part of this season, he had a good eye in his first at-bat of the night as he worked a walk with the bases loaded against the starter Shelby Lackey of Asheville to make it 1-1 Suns and Tourists. After that, KJ Harrison broke it open with a 2-run double. Give the Suns a 3-1 advantage, and Pablo O'Connor and Kyle Marincones had put their names on the evening as Pablo O'Connor hit an RBI groundout to score Lara, while Kyle Marincones hit a double of his own, just like teammate KJ Harrison, to score KJ and make it 5-1 Suns after a single frame. It'd be all zeros from there as Jake Irvin with a shaky first was locked in from there with 4 2/3 of 1-run ball. He was pulled in the 5th inning after issuing a walk with 2 outs and gave way to Carson Teal, who was awarded the win after 2 2/3 innings of relief, allowing just 1 run himself. 3 hits, no walks, and 5 strikeouts for Teal, earning his first win of 2019. But the offense wasn't done from there, as both teams able to strike in the 8th. The Suns, though, able to strike before that in the 6th, scoring 2 runs of their own. An RBI double from Kyle Marincones and an RBI single from Cody Wilson made it 7-1 Suns after 6. Both teams found home plate in the 8th inning, as Asheville able to score on a double from Willie McIver, the catcher, once again making his name known to the Hagerstown crowd. An RBI sac fly from Kyle Marincones rounded out the scoring for Hagerstown to make it a final of 8-2. The totals in this one: the Suns score 8 times on 9 hits with 1 error. They left 4 on base. The problems of runners in scoring position not totally going away tonight, but definitely making a vast improvement compared to the first handful of games. Asheville 2 runs on 7 hits, 3 errors. They left 7 on base. The win goes to Carson Teal, his first. The loss goes to Shelby Lackey, his first as well. An 8-2 final. We'll take a break here in the post-game show and come back with our affiliate scoreboard. More post-game show after this. Stay tuned on the Suns Radio Network.
Welcome to La Bella Vita, named for my Grandma Vita. Our mountaintop getaway honors her legacy while complementing the home's spectacular views. This recently renovated property boasts a breathtaking landscape of Deep Creek Lake while providing great open interior spaces for a sensational vacation. You'll immediately notice the great room allows for entertaining, dining, and relaxing after long days on the lake or skiing on the slopes of Wisp. Your family and friends will enjoy relaxing in all the open spaces. The home features 6 bedrooms, including 4 that are private suites. And each of the 4 levels of this home feature amazing visibility as far as the eye can see. Like our family, we hope you enjoy making memories here on the mountain. We love sharing the spacious, warm, and inviting home that overlooks the lake. Cheers to the beautiful life, La Bella Vita.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
Welcome back inside the press box of historic Municipal Stadium. Ray Jensen here with you in the post-game show. An 8-2 final as your Suns take home their first home win of the season in the home opener here at historic Municipal Stadium. Win number 3 for the Suns. They are 3-5, with the Asheville Tourists fall to 4-4. It's now time to drive around the South Atlantic League and our out-of-town scoreboard. Games still ongoing in the SAL. The Rome Braves taking on the Greenville Drive. It's a tie ball game in the bottom of the 8th. Rome at the bat. It's a 1-1 game between Rome and Greenville. In the top of the 8th in Hickory is the Crawdads, who are running away with the SAL in the early goings. They're hosting the Kannapolis Intimidators. 6-1 lead for the Crawdads over Kannapolis in the top of the 8th. In the 6th in Charleston is the River Dogs taking on the Greensboro Grasshoppers. It's 2-0 lead for Greensboro or over Charleston in the 6th. After 7 in Lexington, our Legends, who will be welcoming in later next week, they are facing on the Columbia Fireflies, the Mets affiliate. Lexington absolutely taking it to the Columbia Fireflies 10-2 after 7 frames of baseball. Delmarva, the Shorebirds, taking on the Blue Claws, our previous opponent. Delmarva currently leading 6-3 after 6 innings of play. West Virginia Power hosting Augusta. 2-0 lead for the Power over Augusta after in top of the 8th. And the final here, of course, 8-2. Between the Suns and the Asheville Tourists. Now for other Nationals affiliates around the nation, Potomac hosting the Winston-Salem, visiting the Winston-Salem Dash, I should say. The hosting Dash leading Potomac 6-4 in the top of the 7th. The Fresno Grizzlies fell to Salt Lake in a tough one, 5-4 at Salt Lake. And earlier, a no-hitter for the Harrisburg Senators visiting the Bowie Bay Sox. A two-run no-hitter for Eric Fetty, who's one of the better touted pitching prospects for the Washington Nationals this season. Absolutely proved his mettle against the Bowie Bay Sox. 2-0 no-hit win for the Harrisburg Senators in the no-no. And Washington Nationals, they are off tonight. The parent club is back in action tomorrow evening, hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates. Patrick Corbin gets the nod opposite Trevor Williams with a first pitch at 7:05 p.m. Eastern at Nationals Park. Meanwhile, for us, we got one more segment to go. We'll preview tomorrow's matchup between your Hagerstown Suns and the Asheville Tourists after this break. Stay tuned, more after this on the Hagerstown Suns Radio Network.
Life can get in the way these days. We all know that. work commitments, social commitments, volunteer commitments, family commitments. You put your heart into all of it. You've got enough to worry about already. Your roof shouldn't be one of those things. Everything should just work. But when your roof is in need of an upgrade, you shouldn't have to worry about that either. Modern Renovations, your four-state roofing solution, reminding you that home is where the heart really is.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
WU Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population, of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources.
Certainly has helped take us to another level.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families like yours for generations, since 1880. Whether you want to plan ahead or you need us now. Our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
Back to wrap up the post-game show here from the historic Municipal Stadium up in the press box. Ray Jensen here with you. A final of 8-2. Your Hagerstown Suns victorious over the Asheville Tourists 8-2. Time to preview the next matchup coming up tomorrow. We'll be facing these very same Asheville Tourists. A 6:05 p.m. first pitch, 5:05 gate opening for the Hagerstown Suns. They'll be sending righty Francis Peguero to the mound for his second start of the year. The Tourists will counter with lefty Alfredo Garcia. Garcia 0-1 with 11.57 ERA. Peguero, scoreless record of a spotless ERA as well. Exciting things to come in this opening homestand. Particularly tomorrow, we're continuing our opening weekend festivities. The first few fans through the gates of historic Municipal Stadium will receive a magnet schedule giveaway. You know, when your Suns are playing exactly in historic Municipal Ballpark, just as mentioned, don't put them on computers, folks. I can know from my days of rambunctious pranks and all sorts of stuff. Also, Sunday Fun Day coming up near the end of this series with the Asheville Tourists. Every Sunday Fun Day, there's plenty of family fun to be had here at Municipal Stadium. Face painting, autograph sessions, catch on the field, kids run the bases, you name it, we got it on Sunday Fun Day coming up this Sunday, April 14th. And to wrap up the homestand on Wednesday, April 17th, will be Education Day when we host the Lexington Legends. And concluding that series, Wooly and the Suns will be on hand for an Education Day for the youngsters at Municipal Stadium. It's an early one, a 10:35 a.m. first pitch. We'll be ready for our coffee on Wednesday. But in the meantime, tomorrow, a 6:05 p.m. first pitch, a 5:05 p.m. gate opening. Francis Peguero of the Hagerstown Suns opposite Alfredo Garcia of the Asheville Tourists. In the meantime, an 8-2 win for your Hagerstown Suns here on opening night Municipal Stadium. For John Kosas, this is Ray Jensen saying so long for now. We hope you enjoyed the game. We know you enjoyed the outcome. An 8-2 win for Hagerstown over the Tourists. We'll look to do it again tomorrow evening here from historic Municipal Stadium. In the meantime, drive safe and have a good night, folks. We'll talk to you tomorrow evening.